God, we're not live.
Here we are.
Oh, wait.
Here we are. Back with you in Montgomery Blair. No rest for the weary as we get Game 2 started about 40 minutes after the end of Game 1. Bethesda took that one 11-9, but Silver Spring back with a fresh start and trying to get their backs in the win column as they take on the Bethesda Big Train for the second time in as many games. Top of the first already, it's 2 on count against the leadoff hitter Cal Johnson for Bethesda. Starting pitcher today for Silver Spring is Christian Dre, which means it is officially Dre Day. And the big right-hander from Richmond misses upstairs with a breaking ball, making the count 3-1 against the left-handed hitting second baseman Cal Johnson.
Where's our guy, Nick Ronholm would say, the doctor is in.
Dr. Dre is on the hill, trying to set up shop here against the top of the order. And deuces a grounder to second. That's Matthew Kim coming on and making a nice underhanded flip for the first out. Take you through the defense real quick for Silver Spring. Tacoma left to right in the outfield. Joey King, Jonah Acosta in center field. And the new T-Bolt, Marco Polizzi from University of Millersville. In the infield, Sam Camacho's back at third. Colin Gibbs over at short. Matt Kim just made that play. He's at second base. Connor Fricky at first. And Mason Kelleher will do the catching for the big right-hander, Christian Dre. He's got an out on the board here in the top of the first. Big Train now 4-0 against the T-Bolts on the season, trying to make it 5 straight to start the year. Logan Panett, the left fielder today, takes a strike. Panett played third base in the game earlier today. He fouls a pitch off, making it 0-2. He got his own leg in the process. Big Train order real quick. Cal Johnson just grounded out. Here's Logan Panett. Then Daniel Machado on deck. Emilio Gonzalez bats cleanup. Carpenter, Hack, and Foscolo 5-6-7. Parker Corbin the DH. And Jack Gagan doing the catching and batting ninth. Guy we haven't seen this year against Silver Spring. 0-2 from Dre. Runs in and hits Panett. Not where he was looking to go with that. And he needed 4 balls to award Panett a free pass, but instead just one pitch gets Logan down to first base. Here's Daniel Machado, had a really nice day earlier today, went 2 for 4. Had a couple of big RBI hits in that 11-9 Bethesda win. The restart really hurt the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts in that contest. They led it 6-1 when the game was halted on June 11th, and then we picked it up today. Bethesda scoring 10 of the final 13 runs and pulling out a 2-run win. That was in contest the whole way, but Silver Spring just couldn't come out with the same offensive intensity that the Big Train were able to. Bethesda 17 hits in the game earlier today. Christian's going to do it himself, underhand flip to the bag at first base for the second out. Retiring Daniel Machado does push Panett to second base for the cleanup hitter Gonzalez.
Well, Christian Dre out of the University of Richmond is one of the top arms that the Thunderbolts have in this rotation. He's got excellent command, excellent poise on the mound. I think he's one of the top, arms to go to in big games, and especially against the Big Train. We know the stakes are raised in a rivalry like this.
2 gone in the top of the first. First pitch to Gonzalez is a strike on the outer third. Dre, some of the best numbers on this T-Bolts team. ERA of just 1.3 in his 3 appearances so far. Last time out against the DC Grays went 4 innings, giving up 3 runs, just 1 of them earned though. 0-1, Emilio Gonzalez takes inside.
Reigning most outstanding player of the Ripken League currently up at the plate, which is basically the MVP of the 2-month season. Emilio Gonzalez hit for the Triple Crown. He is such a threat, and he passes the eye test. He is huge when you look at him.
Takes down and in for ball 2. Yeah, Gonzalez last year led the league in batting average, home runs, and RBI. That gets him the Triple Crown. Also led the league in hits, runs scored, slugging, and OPS. Gaudy numbers for the senior from Cape Coral, Florida. 2-1 count against him. 5 homers last year, still none on the year this year, although he gave us a scare in the first game. Rips this one out towards right field, sends Marco Polizzi back, but it bounces off the wall. Here's one run in. Gonzalez is going to go to second base, and he'll be in safely. RBI double makes it a 1-0 Big Train lead, and Bethesda picks up where they left off in the last game by establishing themselves early on this Wednesday night.
Well, there's that thump from Emilio Gonzalez, able to get the scoring started here in Game 2 of a 7-inning game. You have to have a little bit more urgency just across the board when you're competing in a contest that is going to go shorter. So I'm sure that Big Train are happy to be getting on the board here quickly.
Still 2 outs for the 5-hitter Casey Carpenter out of UNC Wilmington. Batting 5th and playing third base today. First pitch from Dre to Carpenter is fouled back into the screen. One nothing Bethesda after they scored in the final 5 innings of the game earlier, have now scored in the first of the game tonight. 0-1 Carpenter comes up empty. One ball and 1 strike against Casey Carpenter. Did not see him in the game earlier. On the season, he has struggled, batting just .194 in 13 games. Bender misses outside. Carpenter does have 5 doubles out of his 6 hits. When he puts the bat on the ball, it gets in the gaps, but has struggled to do it with consistency. Has driven an 11 and also worked 14 walks, so he's impacted the game in other ways. 1-2 is a swing and a miss. First K of the day for Dre. Big Train get 1 in the top of the first. We'll see what the T-Bolts have in response in the bottom half.
Silver Spring Jewelry is the Washington area's only complete jewelry store with a staff of 13 jewelry associates and 8 goldsmiths. Now in 3 locations in Tacoma Park, White Oak, and Silver Spring. Family owned and operated since 1971, specializing in diamonds, custom engagement rings, repairs, engravings, and cash for gold. Go to silverspringjewelers.com for more information. Silver Spring Jewelry, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. SkyPoint believes banking should be easy to understand, personalized, and focused on making the community a better place. Whether you're opening your first account or planning for your future, SkyPoint has the financial tools to help you hit it out of the park. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. Visit SkyPoint's branch in Silver Spring. More at skypointfcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender.
Bottom of the first here in Montgomery Blair High School. T-Bolts down early against the Bethesda Big Train. The 3-time reigning champions of the Cal Ripken League are up 1-0 in this midseason clash between 2 teams just trying to establish themselves and go on a run as we creep towards July and the All-Star break. Starter on the hill for the Bethesda Big Train is Bryce Dolby, the big right-hander. Finished up playing at Louisiana Tech and just recently announced a transfer to Cal State Bakersfield. Dolby, someone that has big-time stuff, has ran his fastball up to 97 at Louisiana Tech. Came from Liberty, where they are notorious for developing arms that throw really hard. This past season at Louisiana Tech, he appeared in 5 games, going 7 innings and giving up 7 earned runs. The junior from Ashburn, Virginia, is hoping for a better start when he gets to Cal State Bakersfield in the spring. This summer for the Big Train, Dolby has appeared in 4 games. They've all been starts. He's got a good ERA, 3.6. In 12 1/3 innings, he's given up just 5 earned runs, striking out 10.
Yeah, and we got word before Game 2 of this doubleheader that he can run it up to 97. He's been doing that in his baseball career. And so these T-Bolts are going to have to gear up for the heat if he's going to bring it from his big right-handed frame. So T-Bolts got to be on their toes here early.
Top of the lineup, this is Gabriel Pagis, DHing and leading off today. First time he has led off on the season. Mostly hitting second or third, and a couple times down at the bottom of the order just to give him some different looks. Takes a strike on the outer third, a fastball in there from Bryce Dolby to start off his outing on the right foot. It'll be Pagis, then Connor Fricke, then Jonah Acosta. Same top three as the last game, except Acosta and Pagis flip places. Acosta, the normal leadoff hitter. 0-1 is fisted towards the right side. Gonzalez on a weird hop, flips it over to Dolby.
Oh.
They got him just by a step. Pagis isn't a fan, and first base coach Caleb Sturdivant is kind of hearing his complaints right now. Really close play. There were some issues with the strike zone in the game earlier today, and that early call going against Silver Spring is not going to make the Silver Spring coaching staff happy.
I mean, kudos to Gabe Pagis for making it a real contest. He knew it when he got out of the box, that he had a chance, given the weird English on that baseball. So for him to make it close was really impressive, and I thought he was safe. I thought he was at that bag.
It was a close play, but Pagis just barely behind the throw. 0-1 the count on Connor Fricke. The first baseman swings and misses at strike two. Fricke out of Babson University, but born in Colorado, and has played his college ball up in the Northeast. In the game earlier today, he came in replacement of Caleb Sturdivant, and he went 1 for 2 with a pair of walks in his limited time. Called strike against Fricke makes the count 1-2.
It's a real shame for Caleb Sturdivant. He was playing so well before he went down, and now all he can do is kind of sit on the sidelines over while being the first base coach. I mean, he was just swinging it really well, hitting 360 with a homer in 10 games. T-Bolts are missing his production.
1-2 is popped foul. Big Train defense looks like this. In the outfield, Panett in left, Hack in center, Foscolo in right. Carpenter plays third, Machado and Johnson up the middle, Gonzalez the first baseman, and Jack Gagan does the catching for the right-hander Bryce Dolby. Comes home on a 1-2, and it's a slider that is beautifully landed for a strike three called.
Well, there's not much you can do about that if you're Connor Fricke. You just tip the cap to Dolby, and he truly landed a pitcher's pitch. Got him to freeze on it on the outside part. So, I mean, again, this is a really high-quality arm that the Thunderbolts are facing. They're going to have to be ready for him to, go after him in a lot of different aspects.
Silver Spring struck out 12 times in the game that just wrapped up a couple minutes before this one. Dolby collects the first for Big Train pitching in the nightcap, and he misses outside with a fastball to Jonah Acosta, the center fielder tonight. Playing a lot more outfield than he's used to. Grew up in the Miami area as primarily a shortstop. That's where he played for his high school, Miami Killiam. And in North Florida in the spring, he played a lot of short, some second. But here with the T-Bolts, he's been called upon for a different role, and that is the outfield. Made a lot of nice plays in the earlier game in right field, including gunning a runner down at the plate in a pivotal spot in the 8th inning. And Brock Hunter likes it so much, he moves him over to center field for his first test in the captain's role in the outfield. Some do call it the shortstop of the outfield, and so it seems like by that logic, Acosta would fit in well.
And it's interesting to note from our guy, Sam Bergstrom, this is actually Jonah Acosta's first time playing the outfield in his baseball career. So, I mean, hey, you looked like a natural to me out there, and I wouldn't have known if I hadn't known that.
1-2 is a called strike three, and Dolby makes quick work of the T-Bolts there in the bottom of the first. Acosta with some words for the umpire, but he'll walk away slowly. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Dolby and the T-Bolts first, and we go to the second with Big Train up 1-0.
Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, helps people turn their dreams into their new forever home. Whether it's a renovation, addition, or a new home, Ben will assist you in picking colors and finishes. He'll explain building codes, zoning requirements, and materials that stress energy efficiency. Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. The AFI Silver Theater and Cultural Center in downtown Silver Spring presents the best in American and world cinema. They show classic American mysteries from the black and white era as well as the most recent modern digital content from around the world. The AFI Silver Theater also features filmmaker interviews, panel discussions, musical performances, and more. The AFI Silver Theater at 8633 Colesville Road in Silver Spring is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Top of the second year in Silver Spring, where the home T-Bolts find themselves down a run after just one inning to the defending champion Big Train. Bethesda just got their 10th win of the season earlier today. They now have become the second team in the North Division to achieve that mark and the third team in the Ripken League in general. Silver Spring Tacoma achieved their 13th loss in the game earlier, moving to a league bottom 4-13. Silver Spring has lost 3 in a row. Bethesda has won 4 in a row. And the T-Bolts trying to change both those streaks. Dre's back out for his second inning. Gave up a run in the first after he hit Logan Panette, and then a ground out and a single got him home. He'll now face off against 6, 7, 8 in Bethesda's order. Will Hack, Ryan Foscolo, and Parker Corbin. Hack, the center fielder, will bat 6th and stand in from the right side against Christian Dre in their first meeting against each other this season. Hack a pretty good day in the early game. 1 for 4, also walked. First pitch, Hack cuts and misses at a slider that bounces. Sitting fastball on the opener, and Dre subverts the expectations for strike 1. A 1 grounder again, this time the short. Gibbs on a tricky hop over to first base. Not in time. Another bang-bang play, but this one goes in favor of Bethesda. Hack legs it out for an infield hit to start off the second.
Well done by Hack there. He kind of just hit it perfectly. Not too hard, not too soft. Colin Gibbs had to take an awkward hop on it. Didn't quite know if he should wait on the grounder or charge in on it. So, you know, when you get caught in that tweener spot on the infield, runners can take advantage.
Nobody out, 1 on. First pitch to Ryan Foscolo is tapped foul, and it catches the rough area of Mason Kelleher's body. An area that if it does get you, you will be out of action for some time. Hopefully he is okay. We've all been there. And you can see him doubled over as the trainer comes out. Hopefully that's all it is. It's painful in the moment, but it is survivable. Hopefully it didn't get him in the hand or another area where it's more fragile. Not saying that I'm happy that he got hit in that position, but hopefully he's able to keep it going in this one. Just going to need to take a minute.
It's tough to get hit in that area, I know from experience during my catching days, and you know, Kelleher's just going to have to take a breather. It's especially tough on the T-Bolts. Obviously, you prioritize Mason Kelleher's well-being. That is the first and foremost, you know, issue at hand here. But, you know, Kai Schmelzer, he already caught the first game. He already did a decent bit of catching today. And even though this one is only 7 innings, it's going to put the T-Bolts in a bit of a hole, you know. Wade Hartrick is on this roster as a catcher, but he can also pitch. And if the T-Bolts wanted to use him out of the bullpen at some point, they would, you know, be down a man. So Brock Hunter's got some puzzle pieces to solve here.
Mason getting a much-needed drink of water from Thomas, our bat boy. Looks like he's going to stay in. Well, they call the catching gear the tools of ignorance, and to be honest, I'm not really sure why, but my interpretation is that a lot of people just don't realize how physical that position is. And plays like that, you're just expected to shrug off without a lot of people realizing how painful they are. But Kelleher will stay in this game, and he's got a 0-1 count, and he'll try to work with his pitcher, Christian Dre, to retire Foscolo. Changeup misses inside, 1-1. Foscolo hurt the T-Bolts in the last meeting between these two. Back on June the 14th, Ryan hit a 3-run homer over the left field wall at Shirley Povich Field in an eventual 14-3 Big Train win. That game, a matinee affair, started at 10 a.m. 1-1 is tapped foul. As you mentioned, Patrick, and a reminder to the viewers at home, this game will only go 7 innings. Just an ad-lib decision earlier with how long the first game ended up being. Swing and a miss, runner goes, throw down is a good one, and they got him. In pain one moment, and in the books as a caught stealing the next. Hack is sent off the base paths, and Kelleher back like he never left.
Well, there you go. That's going to make the pain feel a little bit better. Just fired it down to second. It was right on the money for Matthew Kim to make a tag. And that is a huge first out here for the Thunderbolts on the field.
There was also a strikeout for Foscolo. Kind of in the commotion, we didn't even realize that it was a strike him out, throw him out. But now there are 2 outs and the base is empty for Parker Corbin, the DH from University of Maryland, but went in the portal and committed to Akron, where he will finish up his college ball. He's originally from Ohio, so he will return back to his home state and play ball with the Zips in the always competitive MAC. Pitches a ball high to Corbin. Runners now have been caught 7 times by Mason Kelleher in the Cal Ripken League. He's been by far the most effective T-Bolt in that discipline. Also against Christian Dre, only 2 out of 4 coming into this game. Now just 2 out of 5 runners have been safe. He comes to the plate quickly when there's runners on, and it's tough to steal against Dre and against Kelleher. And when they're a battery together, it's been a challenge for Ripken League base runners.
Yeah, good for Parker Corbin. He's going on to Akron, and good to see him back in action. I know we saw him in Bethesda get hit up, banged up behind the plate, I should say. And he had to exit early, but.
That was ball 4 to Corbin. The scoreboard at Blair was lagging a little bit behind, but it was a walk to Parker Corbin. The 8 hitters aboard with 2 outs, and it brings up Jack Gagan, a catcher that was recently added to this roster, brother of Bradley Gagan, a pitcher for the Big Train that we have seen a couple of times this year against the T-Bolts. Gagan out of Tusculum University takes a pitch for strike 1. Gagan just showed up about a week back. He is adding to a room of catchers that is in need of a lot of help. Gramesty has done the bulk of the work back there. He gets hit. Second hit batsman by Christian Dre. Makes it first and second. And Jack Gagan, the Bethesda catcher, now hit in this inning. 2 aboard, still with 2 out. And Dre's going to get things talked to a little bit by Kelleher.
Well, that strike him out, throw him out double play is coming in really handy for the T-Bolts right now. They're in a bit of a tough spot. With 2 runners on and 2 outs. You want to shut this down quickly if you're Christian Dre and get these bats back up to the plate.
Here's the top of the lineup in Cal Johnson. Dre got him the roll over to second in his first at-bat. But in the early game, Cal Johnson hit an opposite field shot. Ended up going 2 for 3 with a double and a homer. 2 outs, 2 on. First pitch is low.
Sounds like the big trainer are going to use their courtesy runner for their catcher, Gramesty. Or catcher is Gagan today, but that is TJ Gramesty on first base.
1-0 pitch. Skips in. Nice block by Kelleher to keep the runners at bay. Yeah, Gramesty's going to courtesy run for a catcher, and Gramesty is a catcher. He has stolen 8 bases this year, and he's not got the typical stature for a backstop, standing around just 5'9", 180 pounds. He's definitely a threat to run, and he doesn't really get a break after catching a lot of innings earlier today in the afternoon heat. Gets right back out there and is asked to run the bases. 2-0 is lifted out towards center field, challenges Acosta, but the center fielder looks like a natural and gloves it for out number 3. Through 1.5 innings here at Montgomery Blair High School, it is 1-0 Big Train, but Dre holds 2 and leaves him on the bases as we head to the bottom of the second. T-Bolts looking to equalize and try to get back in front of Bethesda.
Koa Sports in Gaithersburg, Maryland is committed to shaping kids' lives through sports. Koa Sports aims to develop each child to their full potential as an athlete and as a person. They also help your student athlete in the classroom, on the playing field, and anywhere in between. Learn more about Koa Sports at koasports.org. Koa Sports is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Parkview Capital believes your financial strategy should reflect more than the numbers. It should reflect you. As a trusted investment advisory firm, Parkview Capital partners with individuals and families to build and protect wealth. Parkview Capital personalizes strategies rooted in your values and long-term goals. Whether you're growing your portfolio or preserving a legacy, Parkview Capital crafts a clear, customized path to your financial future, one that evolves with you. Parkview Capital, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Bottom of the second inning at Blair High School. Bryce Dolby goes back out for the Big Train. Had a pretty good top of the first, or bottom of the first, I should say. About as good as you can get. Got Begis to ground out to first before striking out Fricky and Acosta. In 3 innings this year against the T-Bolts, he has retired all 9 batters that he has faced. Back on June the 7th, in an eventual 14-run Big Train win, Dolby went 2 innings and retired all 6, including a pair of strikeouts, 1 to Kutney and 1 to Camacho. Camacho would be due up 4th in this inning, but it starts off with Mason Kelleher, the catcher, then Joey King, the left fielder, and Marco Polizzi in right field tonight. 4, 5, 6 in the T-Bolts order, trying to respond after Bethesda got out to an early 1-0 lead.
Leading off the bottom of the second for the Thunderbolts, from Frostburg State University, the catcher, number 27, Mason Kelleher.
Kelleher steps up after he was in some pain after taking a ball to his groin in the top of the second inning. But he stays in the game, and after throwing out a runner in the second, now will stand in with the man he threw out about 300 feet in front of him in dead center field, Will Hack, shielding the sun with his eyes. First pitch of the second by Dolby is high and out.
Kelleher coming out of the D2 Frostburg State University with the Bobcats. Couple of them across the league with a bunch of different teams, but Kelleher is here in Silver Spring.
1-0 is a called strike. Kelleher just wrapped up his freshman year with the Bobcats out of Marlton, New Jersey, and now playing his summer ball in Silver Spring. He's got a 1-1 count on him. Dolby comes home, and Kelleher foul tips it into the mitt. 1 ball and 2 strikes against Mason, who leads this team in batting average, hitting at a .424 clip. 3 doubles, 4 RBI. Slugging percentage over 500, and an OPS just 1 tick over 1,000. 1-2 sliders a beauty. 3 straight Ks, and they're all backwards. Bryce Dolby is fueling up.
I mean, these T-Bolts hitters are looking befuddled. Bryce Dolby is looking fantastic on the mound with those three straight Ks, as you mentioned. Just excellent work from the big right-hander.
One out in the second for Joey King. Left fielder hitting fifth. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Dolby has had 2 outings that have been pretty much untouchable and 2 outings that have been pretty rough, to be honest. June 3rd at Olney gets hit 5 times in 3 innings, gives up 2 runs. And June 13th against Gaithersburg gives up 3 runs in 3 innings. I guess that's not terrible numbers, but comparatively to his other outings where he's gone 6 innings with 6 strikeouts and no runs allowed, he was off his game in those 2. 1-1 pitch is tipped. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dolby looking for his 4th straight strikeout. You got to be going slider here, right, Patrick? We just saw what he did to the 4-hitter Kelleher.
I think so, but honestly, he could go wherever he wants. It seems like he is controlling the zone to the maximum right now.
He does vary from the slider, and it's a fastball that misses just outside. So he fooled me.
There's just so much luxury on the mound when you know that you control the zone and you can just pretty much dot any pitch and wherever you feel like it.
2-2, same spot and same result. Goes right back to the fastball away.
Either the zone is tight today or Joey King is having some really disciplined takes. I'd like to think it's the latter.
King battling back here. Full count pitch. Goes to a changeup and it's fouled off. I was thinking changeup may be on the agenda there. A couple straight fastballs away, and you want a pitch that looks like it's the same, but it dives back over the plate. And the changeup that would move in on the right-hander King is probably the best result there. Now the calculus again, 3-2. Goes for a changeup again, and this time it's inside. And Dolby collects his 4th straight strikeout.
Unbelievable stuff right now. Fastball, slider, changeup combo is truly just working. And the T-Bolts have no answer for it right now. I mean, 4 straight Ks, 3 of which were looking. I mean, this guy's unpredictable right now in the best way possible.
Here's the first T-Bolt at bat for Marco Polizzi, and it's a slider that just catches the outer third for strike 1. Marco Polizzi from Millersville, playing right field, batting 6th, and wearing number 35. This year at Millersville was used as a pinch runner a lot for the redshirt junior from Montoursville, PA. Swings and misses, and it's an 0-2 hole for Polizzi. This past year, he did play in 26 games. Hit about 225. Did hit 2 home runs, though. Part of a really good Marauders team. 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Fastball top of the zone, and it's 3 straight pitches to retire Polizzi. Good morning, good afternoon, good night from Dolby in the second. Going to the third. 1-0 Big Train, and their starter is choo-chooing on.
Dan Metcalf has long been a supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Now he's at a new location, the Finn Family Group of Perennial Real Estate. If you want to find that perfect home in the perfect community, the Finn Family Group is for you. The Finn Family Group believes in community, and they bring that sense of community when working with clients to find homes in the Silver Spring Tacoma Park area. Call them today at 301-450-6999. Once again, that is 301-450-6999. The Finn Family Group, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Athletic House on 18952 Bonanza Way in Gaithersburg is a promotional product distributor making mugs, pens, and T-shirts for advisors. The Athletic House can supply your company with every possible promotional product from 3,000 suppliers. With so many ad specialties available, Athletic House can help leave a lasting impression with your customers, and it will create a long-lasting relationship with your clients. Athletic House, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
2 innings gone in the blink of an eye here at Montgomery Blair. Just 35 minutes needed for both starters to work through their first 2 innings of work. Christian Dre, the T-Bolt starter, back out. His first 2 innings were a little bit less smooth than Bryce Dolby's, but that's not saying much because Dolby had struck out 5 of 6 and has retired every single batter that he's faced. Dre a little bit more difficulty, but has just given up 1 run. That came in the first inning. He'll now face 2, 3, 4 in Bethesda's order. Logan Panette, Daniel Machado, Emilio Gonzalez. It'll go righty, lefty, lefty against the right-hander Dre. He hit Panette with a pitch back in the first, and Logan came around and scored the game's only run. First pitch of the third is a curveball, beautiful down the zone.
You know, when Christian Dre is going right, I think he can match Bryce Dolby. I mean, Dre is a really high-quality arm in his own right. And, you know, when he's running that command and poise on the mound, he can do anything he wants as well.
Panette dumps a single in right, and Polizzi has trouble picking it up. We said it briefly in the last game, but against a team as good as Bethesda, you just cannot give up extra bases. It burned the T-Bolts in the last game, and Christian Dre's trying to look to see if he can avoid making it hurt again. But Logan Panette goes to second base as a leadoff base runner here in the third. Second straight inning with a leadoff man on for the big train.
Well, I mean, you just can't give away those little mistakes. You got to do the little things right if you're the T-Bolts, and you know the big train are going to punish you along those margins. They have a lot of really advanced players, and that's just what they can do.
First pitch, Machado grounds to second for the first out. Pushes Logan Panette to third base for the man that led the league in RBI last year, Emilio Gonzalez.
I remember your announcer jinx last game almost mentioned that he didn't have a home run on the season yet, and then he just obliterated a baseball to the warning track.
It didn't get out, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
But it was a close call. Gonzalez swings and misses there. In 3 games this year against the T-Bolts, Gonzalez has driven in 10 runs, averaging over 3 runs accounted for by himself per game. Bethesda, a team that has put up a barrage of runs, it seems like, every time they go out against the T-Bolts, including the last game. Bethesda now averaging 16 runs a game when they play Silver Spring. That is a recipe for a lot of wins. And that number, of course, buoyed by their 27-run outpouring back on June the 7th, but still double digits in every game. Their 11 runs this afternoon was the fewest number they've scored against Silver Spring this season. And it was much needed for a big train team that came in kind of slumping offensively. They hadn't scored 10 runs or more in any of their previous 6 games, although they were 3-3 over the stretch. And they were starting off the year blowing teams out. T-Bolts were among them. They were winning games by an average of 6 runs, but then their last 3 wins are just an average of 2 runs. So they've been trying to figure out their offense, and a lot of times it's been credited to the pitching, too, to keep them in those games. 1-2 is lifted out to deep center. Acosta was so far back that he has to charge it, and he makes a grab on the run. Has no play at home, as it's an RBI sac fly for Emilio Gonzalez. Now 11 RBI against the T-Bolts this season for the big senior.
Well, just a really nice way to move runners around. I mean, Logan Panay able to get to second base on a single to right field, and then you know the big train using productive outs, getting a run across, and you know, that's what puts them up 2-0. Again, they're really polished along those margins, and they know how to win in a professional way.
First pitch to Casey Carpenter. He wanted a slider out, but he didn't swing the bat at it. 1 ball and no strikes for the third baseman from UNCW. Carpenter didn't see much time this year for the Seahawks, but came on late in the conference tournament and hit 2 home runs. Part of an effort for the Seahawks team that almost made it to the NCAA tournament. They couldn't pull it out, and the CAA automatic bid went to the Northeastern Huskies.
So cool when these smaller schools can make a run, like UNCW and other school like Mercer, who were really good and they were challenging to make that NCAA tournament. Those are the stories you love to follow.
Counts 2-1. Both batter and pitcher part of teams that had really good seasons. Christian Dre, a part of the Richmond Spiders team that finished second in the Atlantic 10, but went out early in the conference tournament. Swing and a miss by Carpenter makes it 2-2.
Well, I'm sure our guy Brian Alves, who's another one of our broadcasters, could tell you about that. Virginia actually made the tournament, the initial tournament. I always get it mixed up if it's regionals or super regionals first.
2-2's fouled off, yet VCU slotted into the regional. They were in the Chapel Hill Regional.
Yes.
Took on North Carolina at Boshemer Stadium. And a really tough draw because UNC ended up becoming the national runner-up, losing in 3 games in the championship series to the red-hot Oklahoma Sooners. Count staying 2-2. Pitch from Dre. Called strike 3. Dre strikes out Carpenter for the second straight time. Bethesda does get 1 more in the third. They now have doubled their lead to make it 2-0. And with Dolby back on the hill, that might just be enough. But we'll see as Bryce tries to keep his strikeout streak of 5 going.
The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring specializes in balancing, repair, and installation of your car's tires. The Radial Tire Company has experienced technicians with a commitment to quality service, advanced equipment for balancing and installation, and comprehensive repair options. The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton, Maryland has been serving Washington musicians since 1958. Chuck Levin's is family-run and is famous for instrument sales and its repair facilities for guitars, woodwinds, brass, strings, and electronics. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton, Maryland, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Bottom of the third here, Patrick. Bryce Dolby coming back out. It seems like the T-Bolts have had their backs against the wall all season to the big train. Such an imposing force. We've called them the Evil Empire. And they lead it 2-0 after winning the first 4 matchups. How do you think this team can start to turn it around against a team such an imposing force as the big train? And especially with how they've started out tonight, what are you looking to see out of them down the stretch and as we get further into the season?
Well, I think it's a testament to this team that, originally they were getting blown out at the outset of this year in games, allowing 20-plus runs quite a bit. And now they're playing opponents a lot closer. They're showing a lot more competitiveness in these games. And they were rolling against the Big Train they were rolling against Big Train on June 11th before they had to suspend that game and then pick it up here on the 24th. So I think this team is a lot closer than people expect, and they can hang a lot better with teams, and they're just coming along as a group.
7, 8, 9 in the T-Bolts lineup: Camacho, Gibbs, and Kim. First pitch of the third baseman, Camacho, is fouled off. Bryce Dolby has retired all 6 T-Bolts. He has struck out the last 5. Fricky, Acosta, Kelleher, King, and Polizzi, the 5 that have gone down via strikes. It's a good point that you bring up. The only game on Sunday was an outlier. T-Bolts dropped it 14-1. But outside of that, they've been a lot of close losses when they have been losses. 11-9 we just saw earlier today. 4-2 at Alexandria, 5-3 at Olney, 8-4 against DC, and then just 7-6 against the Senators, a game that the T-Bolts led 6-0 at one point. It is encouraging to see them playing these games closer. A lot of those are really good teams. Senators the best team in the South, Olney arguably the best team in the league, and just losing to those two by a combined 3 runs. It's encouraging for the rest of the year. Camacho won't be a strikeout victim here. His 0-2 pitch is popped up,
Whoa.
and Sam's going to reach. Third baseman Carpenter got all turned around, and it's not even just going to be a strikeout, it's going to be a no-out.
I'm not sure what.
You know what happened? It rolled foul.
Oh.
It rolled foul. Bailout of the century.
That is a bailout of the century right
Wouldn't
there.
it be crazy if he strikes out here?
Yeah.
He keeps the streak going now. That's unethical hoops.
I mean, Casey Carpenter did not track that fly ball.
No, he missed it.
Simply put, he missed it. But, yeah, it does roll foul. That is crazy. He did not touch it in fair territory. He just, that's honestly smart that he let it go to the left side of third base.
Is it smarter, they just forget to get it? Camacho reaches out and pops it up.
I won't decide.
Whatever the intent is, it is a strike against Camacho. Count stays 0-2. Sam is fighting to stay alive here.
There could just be some lack of awareness there, but hey, again, bailed out. Big Trainer happily going to take it.
He'll certainly take that.
Mm-hmm.
Dolby still yet to allow a base runner. Fastball just misses outside. He wanted the call. But instead it's ball 1 in the at-bat to make the count 1-2. Dolby nods. Right-hander glove to his face. Wind up, deals. Got him swinging.
Okay.
Make it 6 in a row. Bryce Dolby is a runaway train here in the top of the third.
I mean, this guy looks unstoppable on the bump right now. I mean, I don't know how the T-Bolts are going to catch up to an arm this good that is rolling. And, I mean, Sam Camacho would have reached base if only that ball did not go foul. It's easy to hang up on it in hindsight just because that would have been a really nice leadoff runner to have on.
First pitch to Colin Gibbs is fouled off. No balls and 1 strike. 1 away here in the third. Bryce Dolby has faced 7 hitters. He has retired all of them. The last 6 down on strikes. 1-1 the count against Gibbs. Couple years at Maryland. Will continue his career at Delaware. Staying local for the man out of St. John's College. We've seen a couple cadets come through this league. Nate Houghton Henley was first team All-League last year with the Gaithersburg Giants. A program that is always towards the top of the national ranks. Head coach is Mark Gibbs, Colin's dad.
I'll tell you, Peter, I saw it firsthand. The cadets just ran the table in the WCAC. I mean, they rolled through to Matha, and they were pros about playing a game of baseball. They produced talent like nobody's business coming out of the DMV area.
Counts 2-2 on Gibbs. If my memory serves me right, last year I think they lost 1 game, and it was to IMG, and it was a 14-1 demolition. I guess that just shows you how good IMG is. But the 1-2 pitch is laced in the right field by Gibbs. There goes the strikeout streak, and Colin finally gets to Dolby as a 1-out base runner.
Well, it's just a school dedicated to sports, so if you could even call it a school. I don't want to take a shot at IMG, but they make their money off of athletics. So, yeah, I mean, St. John's, in terms of the balance between academics and athletics, is a top program. And Colin Gibbs showing the polish that he learned out of St. John's College High School as he just went to the backside.
First pitch taken for a strike by Matthew Kim. Second baseman finishing up the Bolts order today. Didn't see him feature in the early game. Gibbs just got his first hit of the day. He was 0 for 4 in the 11-9 Big Train win. Did walk once, but he singles to put a number in that column against Bryce Dolby. And now we'll see Dolby work with a runner on. It does mean he has to go the stretch for the first time in this game. May not make the biggest difference, but another intangible that he's got to account for. He was so comfortable with the windup to start out his outing. It's working so well that he might have to be pulled out of his rhythm a little bit here to go into the stretch. Hasn't been too difficult so far, though. He's got an 0-2 advantage on Matt Kim.
I'd also like to shout out the stirrup look. I know that it's going out of style a little bit, but hey, man, he's pulling it off. I mean, all these Big Train guys are. Now that I'm looking around, most of them are wearing high socks. The only guy that's not is Dolby, and he's got the stirrup look. So really nice overall, appearance in general from Bethesda.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Matthew Kim. 3 schools in 3 years for Kim: Gettysburg, FCC, and Hampton-Sydney. He swings and misses there. It was short-lived, but Dolby now has a chance to start out another strikeout streak, make it 7 in 2 2/3.
Again, I don't know what the Thunderbolts can really do at this point. I mean, the stuff is just so good. Coming out of Dolby's right arm. Slider, changeup, fastball, you name it, he can dot it. And he can have hitters second guessing and taking awkward swings, and he can do whatever he wants right now.
2 outs, runner on first. Here's the only man that was recorded an out that was not a strikeout. Gabe Pegues grounded out first base to pitcher on a really close play in the first that didn't go the T-Bolt's way. Gibbs is off. The pitch is a strike. Collin is safe, and it gets in the center. Gibbs wanted third, but instead he'll go back because the ball did not get that far into center field.
Smart read by Gibbs there to not get too greedy. And at this rate, every base runner is precious for the T-Bolts here in this one.
Tying run at the plate here. Game not out of reach whatsoever. Pitch to Pegues is high and out. Gave a 5-hit day in the game earlier today against Bethesda. 3 singles, a double, and a triple. And he also walked to reach base 6 times in one game. That just doesn't happen that often, to be frank. I mean, there's no way for me to know this because I'm not going to go through every single game of the season, but that has to be the first time of the year that someone has done that. Reach base all 6 times. It would be hard for me to believe that someone else has done it. I'll just put it that way. I'm pretty sure Connor Fricke did it against the Alexandria Aces in that 20-0 win. He had himself a heck of a game that day. Well, that I can verify. I've got the game log in front of me. 2-1 count on Pegues. In that game, Fricke goes 2 for 2. He walks 3 times. It looks like he only reached 5 times.
Okay.
I mean, it's still unbelievably impressive, and I'm glad you pulled a T-Bolt up. I was hoping you were going to say Will Hack did it or something, and that would have been as cool. But it is pretty cool that we've had those 2 separate performances be as shining.
I mean, you're right. I don't know if anyone else in the league has done it. Connor Fricke was just the first name that came to mind. I remember calling that game with Sam Bergstrom, and he had himself quite the night at the plate.
3-1 count on Gabe.
Oh.
Step and throw over by Dolby's not in time. Goes for the spin move instead of the normal kind of motion continuation move, but it's unsuccessful. That was not even the only time that Fricke has done that this season. I mean, I guess we could be saving this for when he's at the plate, but he has been on base 5 times in a game twice this season, both of them against the Alexandria Aces.
I was going to say he had a great doubleheader against them as well. Something about the Aces. Whenever he plays, we need him to picture the Aces whenever he's facing an opponent.
Pegues produces a 5-pitch walk, puts 2 aboard, and now the tying run is on base for the aforementioned Connor Fricke, who has had a couple of really nice games this year against the Aces and a couple nice games just in general. Guy that gets on base a lot. I think his kind of unorthodox stance might have something to do with it. Just a different look for hitters. He stands 6'5", but when he gets in his stance, he's a bit closer to 5'5".
Well, I can just say in a vacuum that whenever a player comes in and he's an immediate impact player, that is so helpful. And there's so much to be said about that from a team perspective, that the fact that he is immediately contributing in the lineup, you can plug him in at first base without any worries in the world. You know, that's just, a team is salivating over that.
2 on Fricky. Called strike. 2 outs, 2 on for Connor Fricky. Just finished up his junior season at Babson. Played in 21 games for the Beavers at .288. 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer, and drove in 15. He only walked 5 times the whole season with Babson, but this year has walked 15. 2-1 is a swing and a miss. He struck out looking back in the first. Started a streak of 6 straight for Bryce Dolby. This inning has been a little bit shakier. A single to Gibbs and a walk to Pegues. They're on base, but Dolby's trying to strand him. 2-2 slider is off the glove of Dolby, and it gets into center. Gibbs is waved home. Hack picks it up. He has no play anywhere, and Fricky comes through again, makes it a 1-run game.
Oh, wow. Oh.
And somehow, Gabe Pegues is able to come home. Just an unbelievable turn of events. Gabe sneaks in and scores the second, and in the blink of an eye, we're knotted at 2.
Well, baseball is a game of momentum, and the T-Bolts picked up on it. You know, they were starting to see Dolby well a little bit, and they just kept it going throughout the lineup. I mean, Colin Gibbs able to score easily on that single up the middle, but Gabe Pegues, I did not expect him to go home. He just took off like a rocket ship. I was, you know, looking at my notes and stuff, and next thing I know, he's sliding into home plate.
Popped up by Acosta out towards left field. Panette charging in and makes the grab for the 3rd out. I mean, what just happened? It's 2-2 all of a sudden. We don't even really know how, but we'll take it.
We will take it.
2-2, we're tied up, and we're back where we started as we head to the top of the 4th. T-Bolts get to Dolby, and now it's up to Dr. Dre to keep him at bay. Top of the 4th upcoming after these words from our sponsors.
Wild Bill Sports is all about travel baseball and fun. At Wild Bill Sports, travel baseball is the journey players take to develop skills, increase confidence, and grow with integrity, both on and off the field. Wild Bill Sports also promotes community engagement and giving back. Contact Wild Bill Sports at wildbillsports.com. Wild Bill Sports, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. And of course, Max Eckert, one of our coaches here, Skip, he supports, or that is his travel team. So if you can, please go support them in any way possible. Max is one of our favorite guys in the T-Bolts facility. Jay Hollinger's Waterman's Chop House at 8606 Colesville Road in Silver Spring serves up Chop House classics, fresh seafoods, Chesapeake Bay oysters, a raw bar, and hyper-seasonal local produce. It has one of the best bars in downtown Silver Spring, serving craft cocktails, beer, and wine. Jay Hollinger's Waterman's Chop House at 8606 Colesville Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Top of the 4th inning here at Montgomery Blair High School. You blink your eyes and a couple runs on the board now for the T-Bolts, tying things up at 2. RBI single by Fricky that scored Colin Gibbs, and then aggressive base running by Pegues. Catches the big train napping. And Gabe comes home scoring the 2nd run. Christian Dre back out there. Gave up runs in the 1st and 3rd innings. Has not faced the minimum in any inning so far, but has worked pretty cleanly for the most part. His run in the 3rd, I don't believe is earned because there was an error on the left fielder Polizzi that allowed Panette to go to second base. Commotion here as a plane flies overhead. Can't really see it from our vantage point, but it is right over the press box. 5-6-7, or 6-7-8, excuse me. First pitch to Will Hack is a called strike.
Well, you can see the players coming out on the rail to see it, and, everybody's got some youthful energy. There's no harm, no foul. Everyone always looks up at a plane whenever it's rumbling.
Oh, one is well inside. I hope it wasn't something fun, because we can't see it from where we are. We're inside, and there's some roof over us, but
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't like the Blue Angels or something, and we just, completely missed it. But they're gone. Plays resuming. 1 ball and 1 strike against the 6-hitter from James Madison. Hack goes backside and puts it in the right field for a base hit. Will Hack is 2 for 2. Thought about an extra base, but will hold steady. Third straight inning with a leadoff man on for Bethesda. Trying to get the lead back after Silver Spring sneaks through and ties it up in the bottom of the third.
Well, that's one of your guys, Peter. Calvert Hall Cardinal on first base in Will Hack.
It is one of my guys. I was talking to him pregame a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Good to catch up with him. Part of a really solid big train team. And Hack has done a lot of good things this year for Bethesda. With his pair of hits in this game, he has now reached base in every single game this season for Bethesda. That is now 16 straight, chasing after the 38 straight by Brennan Wright last year, reaching base in every game for the 2-year T-Bolt, or 2-year Big Train, excuse me. I guess, is the singular a big train, or a big car?
Big train.
What's a unit of a train? Caboose? Big caboose?
That's the rear of it.
Yeah, probably shouldn't call him that. Oh, dude, we could say the bottom of the order is the caboose. Jack Gagan.
Oh, yeah.
He's due up third.
The caboose of the train.
The caboose.
Mm.
I wish I had thought of that and kept it to myself, because now it's not going to hit as hard, but I clarified it before. But
We figured it out. We got there.
I'm definitely going to use it.
Feel free.
3-0 count on Foscolo. Ryan Foscolo, the right fielder today, was a strikeout victim in the second. One of 3 big trains, cars that Dre is fan today. What do you call a singular Orlando Magic? Called strike atop the zone. I don't know, a Utah Jazz, are they a Jazz? You say, I'm happy to be a Jazz, or happy to
be with
play
the
for
Jazz?
I guess. I think you just avoid it entirely.
I think so.
A lot of guys got drafted into the NBA last night. They got to figure that out. WNBA, the tempo. Are you a tempo? Are you a tempo? I don't know.
I don't know. I know I was locked in on the NBA draft, though. AJ DeBonsa coming to DC. Welcome to the DMV for him. Things are looking up for the Wizards if, they're not cursed eternally. So
Yeah, I will say that singular, but I gave it more legs than I think it had. I kind of drove that one into the ground. But, yeah, welcome to the district, AJ, spelled D-Y-S.
Yes.
T-R-I-C-T. 3-1 is grounded first base side. It's going to stay fair. Fricky will slap on the tag and apply the out for the first in the inning. Heads up by Fricky. It would have been a tough play for Dre to get over there. And Connor, not even risking it, just does it himself.
Makes sense. I mean, the tapper kind of in between the pitcher's mound and first base. All you got to do is tag that runner out. You take out number 1 easily, no question, and just go at the next hitter. So, and on our DC conversation, things are looking up for DC sports. I mean, you got C.J. Abrams, James Wood for the Nats, and Jaden Daniels for the Commanders, A.J. DeBonsta for the Capitals, and, of course, Alex Ovechkin, the old guard, still hanging in.
An exciting time.
Very much so.
For all 4 in the district.
Mm-hmm.
DeBonsa, a guy that's going to come in, make an immediate impact.
Perfect fit.
Here's Parker Corbin. The 8-hitter DHs tonight. Takes a curveball right down Broadway. Runner on second. 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Tied up at 2 between these divisional foes, the Big Train and the Thunderbolts. Dre looks, turns, throws back, not in time. Going to be a quick talking here between Kelleher and Dre. Taking a glance at the out-of-town scoreboard, a DC team that is not doing too hot are the DC Grays. They're down 3-1 against the Alexandria Aces. That game is at DC. It's at Catholic University. That game in the top of the 6th. This Southern Maryland team is on some kind of heater, man. They're up 10-1 over the SoCo Braves. Senators just lost their first one, and it feels like a month. But if they hold on to win that game with a 9-run lead, they'll be 12-6, equalizing the Crop Dusters for the best record in the league. Olney, meanwhile, is in front of Gaithersburg 12-1. I mean, if you had to pick your division winners right now, you'd be fooled to not say Olney and Southern Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
One is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, it's uncanny how many runs this Crop Duster team can put up. Now 13-1, they've got 14 hits. They put up 7 in the 7th. I mean, you give them an opening and they just completely explode. We saw it firsthand Sunday night, 14-1. They took down the T-Bolts. 1-1 Corbin fouls it off.
Now this would have been another guy you saw at the University of Maryland College Park. We know he didn't get a whole lot of playing time for the Terps, which made things interesting. He's also shifting positions. Originally a catcher coming out of high school, and now he's more of a second baseman, which is an interesting, position swap.
1-2 pitch. Bender high. I can say with confidence that Parker Corbin had by far the best stats on the team as a hitter. And I can say that because he had 1 at-bat, and he got a single. So
nice. Hitting 1,000.
Batted 1,000.
There you go.
OPS 1,000, or OPS 2,000, I guess. I don't know how slugging works, but Corbin was
slugging is like doubles and triples, home runs.
Sure, yeah. I think it was probably 1,000, if I had to guess. So probably a 2,000 OPS. Count is 3-2 against him. So yeah, just 1 at bat for Corbin. Came on February 28th against the Wagner Seahawks. I don't know why I remember that off the top of my head, but that is what happened. And Corbin didn't see any more action. I was rooting for him. I was hoping he would get in again after that great first impression. Played a lot his freshman year, but not so much this past year. Pitch grounded foul. There was such a logjam up the middle. Ty Konis, the true freshman, started every single game. He was given the keys and then jumps in the portal. And so that's college baseball nowadays.
Pretty much.
And David Mendez played second base for the entire year. That was where Corbin probably would have gotten in if he would have cracked the starting lineup. But Mendez was just so good. Came in as a transfer from Vanderbilt and just put up really great numbers. He'll stick around from what I've heard. So I'm really excited to see him back. One of the few hitters that will come back from Maryland and Coach Swope. Corbin swings and misses. 4th strikeout for Christian Dre. 2 outs here in the 4th. And Dre just 1 batter away from stranding that leadoff single at second.
Well, there you go. And a nice swing on the outer part by Parker Corbin. But Dre is just able to get that fastball by him. And, of course, now that I look it up, he's a business major, Parker Corbin, fun fact. But yes, hitting 1,000, slugging 1,000, 1,000 on base, 2,000 OPS. That's got to be the best numbers on the team. We're not going to talk about how many games that was in.
Well, you know who it is now, Patrick. It's the caboose. Jack Gagan, the catcher bringing up the rear in this big train order. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, but didn't end up scoring as Cal Johnson flew out to end the frame 1 batter later.
We're going to have to Google all the parts of a train, and then we're going to label the parts of the lineup.
It would be great if there were conveniently like 9 parts of a train, and you could just give each of them like 1 part.
Yeah.
Like the cleanup hitter is like the coal car. I don't know how trains work, but counts 0-2.
Yeah. Used to be a train guy, so maybe I got to put my
Dining
conductor hat back on. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. 0-2, 2 outs. Runner on second. Dre trying to hold the tie. Curveball called strike 3. Back-to-back Ks, 5 on the day for Dr. Dre. And he is absolutely producing some clean innings of work. He's through 4 innings of 2-run baseball as we head to the bottom half. I'll hand things over to Patrick Moran for the play-by-play. He'll take you the rest of the way in this 7-inning affair as the T-Bolts trying to win for the first time this year over Bethesda.
Fetch Pet Care at 10111 Colesville Road, number 115 in Silver Spring is your premier in-home pet care service. From dog walks, cat care, overnight stays, pet sitting, and medication administration, Fetch Pet Care provides services tailored to meet your pet's individual needs. Fetch Pet Care at 10111 Colesville Road, number 115 in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. The Tacoma Torch, founded in 2019, brings laughter and a sense of fun to residents in the Tacoma Park and DMV area. The Tacoma Torch features satirical articles about the region that those with a sense of humor can appreciate. Send a headline or idea their way to tacomatorch@gmail.com and watch what they do with it. The Tacoma Torch is on the web at tacomatorch.com. Tacoma Torch, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Hall of Fame and Museum was born in Tacoma Park, Maryland.
Well, we'll bring it back to the bottom of the fourth, as Brian Dolby's going to continue to pitch in this game under a whole new dynamic. It is 2-2. These teams are knotted up in game 2 of the doubleheader. So Dolby was in such a rhythm, mowing down hitters, and then he got kind of thrown off of it. He didn't quite expect to deal with traffic, but yet that's exactly what happened. And the T-Bolts took advantage in some situations, a la the Gabe Pegues, swipe of home, which is so out of the blue, but in a great way as he managed to score that run, and now the game is tied at 2. I mean, Peter, what can you say about the Thunderbolts bats in the bottom of the third where they, were facing a really tough arm on the mound? It seemed like they didn't have any answers, and now it's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah, I mean, Bryce Dolby was really rolling. He really could do no wrong for a stretch, striking out 6 in a row, but T-Bolts just started to create chaos. They started to just send shockwaves through the big train lineup, and it seemed like maybe the Bethesda team was expecting Silver Spring to lie down and just give up after their tough loss earlier and how this game started. But T-Bolts came out, get across 2 runs, and one of them just almost a steal of home by Gabe Pegues. Just a great start, and a great start to this inning as well. They're keeping it rolling.
And there you go, Mason Kelleher, after getting hit behind the plate in a really tough spot, has responded nicely. Maybe he just needs to take a beating back there. I don't want to, I don't want him to get hurt, obviously, but
I'll let you suggest that to him.
Nah, I don't think I'm going to.
Just have him not wear a glove.
Yeah, just don't put on the gear.
I mean, how about that statement, though? First pitch of the inning, Kelleher goes backside and base hit in right field. That's got to do something mentally for Dolby, just coming out, completely different dynamic, and just has to deal with the middle of this order now.
The 1-0 on its way to Joey King is high and tight ball, too. Well, trust me, I know what Mason Kelleher goes through. Someone who used to catch, loved it, but it is a taxing position as Joey King takes strike 1 coming out of St. Olaf's College. He has played a couple of different positions, which is unique. Seen time at second, first, and the corner outfield spots, as well as DH. He seems like a great bench piece that Brock Hunter can just plug and play. So that is trailed foul back into the netting.
And Hunter more familiar with Joey King than most because they had a couple years together at Winston Churchill High School up in Rockville. Brock Hunter, the head coach at Churchill, where Joey King played, and his senior year hit almost 500 for the Bulldogs, a really good public school team that has produced a lot of talent in this league. Cannon Creefel, we just saw for Olney, was a part of that Churchill team.
And they punch him out. So Brian Dolby gets Joey King to strike out, and he continues to rack him up. If they were putting up the K posters on a railing somewhere in the stadium, there would already be a ton of them.
That's 8 now, I believe. I mean, if fastball gets up to 97, I don't know if it's done that tonight, but historically, Dolby has gotten his fastball up to 97. Tonight it's been just low 90s, run-of-the-mill, average, whatever. But he's clearly got great stuff, and feels like it's almost hard not to strike out against him.
Goes for a pickoff attempt on Kelleher, not in time.
Hopefully he's okay. That pickoff move, I mean, Gonzalez just whiffed on it, to be honest. It may have maybe bounced in front of him. Would have been a tough play for the first baseman to grab, but could have protected the catcher there. Instead, Mason is beamed on the base, and he'll stay in because he's a tough guy.
He's clearly going to have his bumps and bruises along the way in this one, as Marco Palizzi pops it up, and it's going to land foul. Unbelievable effort from second baseman Cal Johnson, who was in left field the last game.
Would be a great time for Palizzi to make a first impression here. Went down on strikes in the second inning, but that was back when everyone was doing that, so
Yeah.
kind of just blended in with the crowd there. But if he could put one in play here, advance the runner, and find a way to push the T-Bulls closer to a lead, he would be much loved by this dugout and this fan base.
No doubt about it. Another Millersville Marauder in the league as he takes ball 2. That was a really good D2 program in the PSAC as that is popped up. Your guy Will Hack is going to run in on it, and it falls between the center fielder and shortstop Will Hack and Daniel Machado. But, of course, on those tweener pop-ups, it's hard to tell coming off first base what you need to do, and Mason Kelleher gets caught on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, the good old 8-4 putout. Will Hack is not able to get there. It falls in front of him, but does get it to Cal Johnson for the second out in the inning.
Now it'll be Sam Camacho Jr., one of the boys from the 305, as they like to call it. The area code for Miami, Florida, well documented for the T-Bolts, how him and Jonah Acosta have come all this way from their native homeland to play for 2 months in the Ripken League. Is that one's upstairs for a ball.
Yeah, last year, Sam did play college ball or summer ball in the South Florida Collegiate League for the West Boca Snappers. Played in 26 games for them. Acosta also in that league, but they have elected to move north.
As that is drilled by Camacho. That is going to be caught. He gave it a ride, but Logan Panay able to track it down for out number 3. A great swing from Camacho. It feels like if there's any T-Bolt that's going to break out soon, it'll be Camacho. But there it's just a casual fly out to left in the scorebook. T-Bolts and the Big Train still tied at 2 as we enter the top of the 5th here in a 7-inning game. And before we get back to the action, Peter will bring you a word from our sponsors.
Nando's Peri Peri Chicken on 924 Ellsworth Drive in Silver Spring is the best chicken in the world because it uses peri peri sauce. From chicken on the bone to wraps and sandwiches, along with salads and veggie options, Nando's is your choice for great food. Nando's Peri Peri Chicken on 924 Ellsworth Drive in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. For one night only, Nando's will donate 40% of their fundraising proceeds to the Thunderbolts. This Monday, June 29th from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., go to Nando's on 924 Ellsworth Drive and enter the code NANDOS2026 for 40% of their proceeds to go towards the Thunderbolts. The Parkway Deli on 8317 Grub Road in Silver Spring has been dishing up deli classics since 1963. The Parkway Deli is a family business, and their family loves to bring great food and service to yours. The Parkway Deli is open 7 days a week, 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 to 9 Saturdays and Sundays. The Parkway Deli on 8317 Grub Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Well, after a nice kids run around the bases event here at Blair Baseball Stadium, it looks like we're going to have a new arm on the mound.
Yeah, we got a new T-Bolt alert. New T-Bolt alert is going to be Emilio Rodriguez, and it's a name I'm a little bit familiar with because he attended Archbishop Curley High School in the Baltimore area. He played a couple of years at Wilson College, which has been a hotbed for talent in the Baltimore area, a Division III school that has been a lot of people have gone there, including his teammate Harry Middlebrooks ended up there. And Wilson has been known for getting people out and getting them to some really high-level talent. Rodriguez, no exception. He ended up going to LaSalle University.
Yes.
Up in Philadelphia, a school that just brought back their Division I program. He attends LaSalle, plays with the Explorers, and the 5'9" righty from Baltimore just finished up his redshirt junior year. Appeared in 4 games and throwing a shade under 5 innings for that Explorers team in the Atlantic 10. He takes over here. Didn't expect to see him today because he kind of just came in today. He just got his number and jersey and everything, but he wore number 48 and take over on the hill for his first appearance as a T-Bolt.
So a T-Bolt debut on our hands, like you mentioned. It is Emilio Rodriguez. And yes, he did show up today. Got his gear, and it seems like he's ready to go. So we're going to see what he has in relief of Christian Dre, but let's close the line on the doctor, as some might call him. Christian Dre here in this game went 4 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, an earned run, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. That is popped up. That is not popped up. That is a single into center field. I don't know what I was seeing. But just like that, Cal Johnson leads off the top of the 5th with a single.
Well, Rodriguez is greeted rudely by Cal Johnson. First pitch he throws is sent right back at his head, and Rodriguez gets out of the way. He was more of a reliever at Wilson College up in PA. He closed a lot of games, but he had a career ERA of around 3, and opponents only hit 166 against him over those 2 seasons with the Wilson Phoenix.
Well, Cal Johnson basically said, you want to pitch in the Ripken League? Let me show you what it's like. Picking up a leadoff hit. Now the count is 1-0 on Logan Panay. That is popped up, though. Not seeing ghosts there. Center fielder is in on it. And Jonah Acosta will make the catch for out number 1.
Isn't it weird to see Acosta out there? I mean, you've seen him all over the field this year. He's been third base, shortstop, second, and even in right field. But in center field kind of feels like a whole new level of it. You know, we've seen Sturdivant basically locking it down for the first half of the year, and then Bagese taking over when Sturdivant got hurt. But they're both getting a rest tonight, and Jonah's looked like a natural out there. He looks like he is where he belongs.
That one's a little bit outside to Daniel Machado at the plate now. And again, it's so unique on how this is Jonah Acosta's first time playing center field in baseball, or playing the outfield, period. I mean, he's been all over the diamond, and he's taken on a new challenge. That's going to be ball 2 on Machado. The 2-0 in there for a strike. So top of the 5th, 1 out. Runner on first. This game is tied at 2 between the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts and the Bethesda Big Train. Next pitch will miss for ball 3. So Rodriguez, a LaSalle Explorer, as we mentioned. D1 school up in the A10 in Pennsylvania. That's going to be ball 4. Daniel Machado will reach base on a walk. And now the Big Train have runners on first and second here in this one, greeting the new T-Bolt warmly in their opinion.
We got an Emilio on Emilio action here.
Oh, here we go.
Rodriguez the pitcher and Gonzalez the batter. Boy, what a tough position for your 4th career Ripken League batter is the reigning player of the year.
Well, there's ball one. Rodriguez, not a bigger guy. It's about the same Emilio, but we can't really, we have to distinguish in this at bat. There are two Emilios. Emilio squared. The 1-0. Upstairs, ball two. So Rodriguez, let's see what he can bring to the T-Bolts for the rest of the summer. That's fouled off by the reigning MVP. I just want to call Gonzalez the MVP. Next pitch is in there for strike two. So initially down 2-0 was Rodriguez. Now it's evened up at 2. That will just miss the outside part for ball 3. That'll be outside for ball 4. Quite an interesting bat toss from Emilio Gonzalez there over to the Big Train dugout. But at the drop of a hat, the bases are loaded for the Big Train, and they're in a great spot here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, the reigning player of the year felt like he should pimp that walk, so
there you go. Yep.
Chucked that bat.
First pitch to Casey Carpenter is upstairs, ball 1.
Well, no disrespect to Carpenter whatsoever, but it feels like this is the batter for Rodriguez to get back in the groove. Carpenter with a pair of strikeouts tonight and hitting under 180 on the season.
Next pitch is another ball, 2-0. We're going to get a meeting from Ryan Mariani on the mound. I think the best part about having a guy like Ryan Mariani or Dean Wandell on this coaching staff is that they can take the pressure off of Brock Hunter and give pitchers more personalized and individualized attention, which Ryan Mariani can certainly do. Trying to settle his new right-hander down as he tries to find the zone here for the T-Bolts. Big spot in this game. The top of the 5th in a 7-inning game is equivalent to the top of the 7th in a 9-inning game. And they are going to almost pick off Emilio Gonzalez, but that throw was right into him. Connor Fricke was unable to corral it from Rodriguez. And just like that, Gonzalez goes down to second. Machado goes to third, and Cal Johnson will score, making it 3-2. So once again, those little things on the margins of the diamond as Gonzalez fires in, or Rodriguez, pardon me, fires in ball 3.
So many times this year, those pickoff moves have just gone a bit awry. It's been unfortunate. They're so preventable.
There you go. There's a strike. Get me over in a 3-0 count. But I guess on the positive side of things, those are the types of mistakes that are fixable in practice. So obviously it's easy to get frustrated, but as Casey Carpenter fires in strike 2, can definitely just address it in practice. Payoff pitch, runners on second and third. That is fouled away at the plate. Rodriguez trying to limit the damage here in the top of the fifth on another payoff pitch. Brand new arm for the T-Bolts out of LaSalle University. That is fouled away again.
Got a big piece of the umpire. Hopefully he's okay. Rodriguez has battled back here, though, against Carpenter. Now just trying to put him away. Already has an out on the board. Double play not in question anymore because of the pickoff move that went wrong.
They're going to give the home plate umpire a breather. For a hot minute. David Esmond giving the thumbs up. Good to see that he's able to catch his breath. Him and Kelleher have had a rough night behind the plate. So we'll do the payoff pitch again. Both corners in. Middle infielder's double play depth, even though there is none, and that is once again fouled away. Pressure is on for the T-Bolts in a situation like this. Once again, the payoff pitch and swung on and missed. Welcome to the T-Bolts, Emilio Rodriguez, as he picks up his first strikeout in the red and blue.
Big one, too. Carpenter now down on strikes for the third time today. Just has not been his night. Combined with that missed pop-up earlier, he has really struggled today. But now Hack coming up, who's 2 for 2. And with 2 on, you'd love to keep him off the bases here.
That's going to be a popped-up foul over the first base grandstands. Kind of see it often with these new T-Bolt arms in the sense that they need some time to acclimate, and they're going through the motions on the mound, and then they can really start to pick it up. And right as I say that, Rodriguez dumps in a really nice breaking ball for strike 2.
Yeah, maybe Emilio is acclimated.
Maybe. Would love to see that mid at bat, of course.
Well, the big test of if he's acclimated or not is coming up here.
That is true. The 0-2 on its way. Downstairs just low for ball 1. So we started to find the zone a little bit more. That's going to be popped up by Will Hack for a foul ball. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you and Will Hack are the same year. So you two graduated together.
We
from
were,
Calvert Hall.
yeah. Same homeroom, senior year.
Wow.
Actually, junior and senior year. We were working with the admissions team together senior year, giving some tours.
That just swung on and missed for strike 3.
He'll get a tour of his own dugout now after that strikeout.
There you go. Gets a tour of the walk back to the dugout. The T-Bolts will get out of the inning only allowing 1 run. A really nice job by Emilio Rodriguez as he makes his debut for the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th as the Bolts look to get that 1 run back. It is 3-2 Bethesda Big Train.
Silver Spring Jewelry is the Washington area's only complete jewelry store with a staff of 13 jewelry associates and 8 goldsmiths. Now in 3 locations in Tacoma Park, White Oak, and Silver Spring. Family owned and operated since 1971, specializing in diamonds, custom engagement rings, repairs, engraving, and cash for gold. Go to silverspringjewelers.com for more information. Silver Spring Jewelry, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union, they make banking simple. SkyPoint believes banking should be easy to understand, personalized, and focused on making the community a better place. Whether opening your first account or planning for the future, SkyPoint has the financial tools to help you hit it out of the park. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union, they make banking simple. Visit SkyPoint's branch in Silver Spring. More at skypointfcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender.
Looks like Brian Dolby's day is done on the mound. So now the T-Bolts will have to deal with a left-hander.
Looks like this is going to be Terry Kaler. Kaler, someone that has pitched against the T-Bolts this year. He has actually come in a couple games. In the June 2nd 12-11 Big Train win, Kaler goes 2 innings, gives up 3 earned runs. Does give up a home run to Caleb Sturdivant. Unfortunately, Sturdivant not in the lineup tonight, but Kaler also pitches in the 27-13 Bethesda win back on June the 7th, and that one went a lot worse for Terry Kaler. Gets just 1 out recorded, giving up 1 hit, 6 runs, 4 of them earned, and 4 walks. Faced 7 batters, only retiring 1. Hopefully the T-Bolts can see that version of Terry Kaler and not really the other version, because he's had some pretty good stats outside of those 2 outings. Kaler has been a big piece of this bullpen, and aside from those 2 outings against the T-Bolts, he's given up just 2 earned runs in his remaining 5 innings.
So it'll be 8-9-1 for the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts to try and potentially get this run back. Throw goes down the second. Kaler, big guy. Believe he's undecided right now. He's in the portal. So we do not have a school on him, but he has pitched for the Big Train, as Peter mentioned, and now he'll face Colin Gibbs.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th for the Thunderbolts, shortstop Colin Gibbs.
That pitch will miss for ball 1. Gibbs in a good matchup, left on right. Or I should say right on left in his case. So that one's upstairs for ball 2. Joe is in there for strike 1. Of course, we can tell by the train whistle that has been at Blair Baseball Stadium this entire day. Big Train fans, of course, not a far way for them to go. They can easily come out and support. Next pitch is upstairs for ball 3.
In this stadium, I believe the closest to Shirley Povich, I think Gaithersburg and this are equal distance from their home field, so always see a lot of opposing supporters here.
That is ball 4, so Colin Gibbs will lead things off with a walk. The newest Delaware Blue Hen will reach first base to potentially start a rally for the T-Bolts.
This was the trouble for Kaler last time out against the T-Bolts. Walks 4 in just a third of an inning of work. Walks the first one he sees here, and I feel like he's got to go at Matthew Kim right here and as a 9-hitter. See if Kim can take advantage. He's got good numbers on the year, kind of unlike your typical 9-hitter.
He's going to take ball 1, and Jack Goggin behind the plate will call a mound meeting. So Matthew Kim getting his second chance at the plate. One of our favorite guys up here in the booth will take strike one. Kim, as you mentioned, bounced around with a couple of schools. Went from Gettysburg to Frederick Community College, now at Hampton Sydney. So he's made the rounds. Also his last season of eligibility, as he is a rising senior, he'll take ball two.
You just got to love Matthew Kim. Shows up and clearly wants to be there every time he takes that field. Not to say that others don't, but
right.
Kim just always looks like such an energy guy, and just you can really see him give an effort out there, and it's really paid off this year. He's hitting over 300.
He'll have to dodge out of the way of that one for ball three. And yeah, I mean, he just brings a lot of positive energy, and he's kind of happy-go-lucky. He's always got a smile on his face, no matter what. And he just has a good time, and that's really the goal at the end of the day in the Ripken League. You just get better as a player and have fun. That's going to be popped up to left field. Logan Panay charging in. He will drop it. The shortstop, Daniel Machado, kind of clouded his vision path, it seemed, as Panay made an awkward knee slide to potentially grab that baseball, but instead it hits off his glove, and the T-Bolts are in business with the runners in first and second.
You kind of hit it on the head there. I think Machado coming out, he was called off by Panett, and that's his ball all the way. The outfielder is going to call off the infielder all day on a ball that the infielder has to go back on. But Machado runs right in front of him. It's almost like in golf when you have someone walking your line. And I think also Panett was trying to slide. He didn't slide as far as he wanted, so I think he hit the ground a little bit harder than he expected.
First pitch to Pegues will be in there for strike one. And, yeah, it just felt like things got really awkward on that play because of Machado charging out on that baseball. And I get making an effort for it, but might have done a disservice to his teammate.
All of a sudden, go ahead run at first base.
The 0-1 inside for a ball escapes the grasp of Gagan behind the plate.
I mean, this is real trouble here for Terry Kaler and the big train. Look at the next three up. Pegues at the plate, then Fricke, then Acosta. Fricke had the big swing in the third inning to bring in 2 runs. Pegues was just 5 for 5 with a walk in the early game, and Acosta's been one of the best players on the T-Bolts.
So some big bats coming up at a very important time. Kaler will check the runners. That one's upstairs, ball 2.
I don't want to make this an ultimatum, but it feels like it's got to happen here for Silver Spring. If it's going to happen, just getting later and later in this game. Only 7 innings again, a reminder to the people watching at home. So only get up to the plate 3 more times tonight.
I totally agree with you. 1 pitch at a time. That one's going to be ball 3. And now the T-Bolts are 1 pitch away from loading the bases and being in as good a spot as maybe they've had all day to truly be a threat. 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4. So now they're juiced with T-Bolts. Colin Gibbs will trot down to third. Matthew Kim steps on second, and Gabe Pegues reaches first. So Connor Fricke now has a great chance to tie or potentially take the lead in this ball game. But right as I say that, Sal Colangelo, head coach for the Big Train, looks like he's going to make a pitching change. So Kaler's day is done on the mound. The line is not closed on him yet, but of course the line is closed on the starter, Brian Dolby. I will bring you the stats for him. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts in that time, 4 of which were looking. So he had hitters on a string. And now we are going to get Tyrese Johnson, I believe. Very distinctive arm coming into this ball game.
I mean, that was just simply not good from Terry Kaler. Just really struggled with the zone tonight. This has been the struggle for Silver Spring in so many of their close losses this year. But the one that immediately comes to mind is the game earlier today. Scoring runners on base. T-Bolts left 14 men on in the game earlier today. They lost the game by 2. I mean, you just have to get one hit, maybe 2, and you tie or win that game. It has to happen here. Bases loaded, nobody out. It just, you really have no excuse for not at least tying this game. Do what you have to. Drop a bunt. Get a ball in the air in the outfield. Just anything you can do. Even a ground ball will score a run, even if it's 2. So just got to really be cognizant here of the situation and just fight tooth and nail for everything you can get. Looking at the pitcher, Tyrese Johnson, again, guy we've seen a couple of times. He pitched in the June 7th game, went a scoreless inning to close that one out. And then in the game at Povich Field on June 14th, last time we saw these guys, Johnson puts in some solid innings of work at the end, goes 3 innings of 1-run baseball. He's a tough arm, but he's not impossible to hit. And with Fricke, Acosta, and Kelleher coming up, arguably these team's 3 best hitters, you got a really good position here to get the lead back.
And it seems like the Big Train like to go to arms that have seen the T-Bolts a couple of times that maybe are comfortable. Not so much for Terry Kaler. He did not record an out. All 3 hitters that faced the southpaw reached base. So the line is not closed on him by any stretch. He still is responsible for every single man on base right now. But coming into a game and then not recording an out is not ideal. First pitch from Tyrese Johnson to Connor Fricke will miss for ball 1.
Fricke has both RBIs in this game for the T-Bolts. 2-run single in the 3rd.
He winds and fires. That's in the dirt ball, too.
I mean, you do whatever you can, and if whatever you can do is just take some more pitches, then it's one of the easiest ways you could tie this game up is just walking or running.
You just got to take what they give you, and the T-Bolts seem to be doing that right now. There's Tyrese Johnson's first strike of the night. Comes at a pivotal time in the count, because if that went to 3-0, my oh my, would that have been a long way back for Tyrese Johnson. The 2-1, and they're for strike 2. So now he climbs back into the count quickly.
And he moves away from the fastball. First 2 were heaters, and then goes to the curveball for the first strike, and then that one a change up at the top of the zone. We'll see if he stays with the off speed here.
This will be a huge first out for the Big Train. That is ball 3. So he misses just upstairs with a breaking ball, it looked like. And that will run the count full. A huge payoff pitch. And the Big Train have brought in the corners. Middle infield double play depth. That is going to be dumped into left field by Connor Fricke for a base hit. 1 run scores in Colin Gibbs. Matthew Kim right behind him. And it is a 4-3 ball game.
How about that? Fricke just dinks one into left field. Gibbs ties the game, and Kim gives the T-Bolts the lead. That was all you had to do. It was that easy. Fricke now with 4 RBIs tonight. Silver Spring now firmly with the lead, and they can expand it even more here. Still 2 on, and still nobody out.
The T-Bolts are in such an optimal spot, and that's what we were just talking about, hitting timely hits. That is what this team needs normally every single summer. The first pitch to Acosta will be outside for a ball. So now the T-Bolts control the scoreboard as Acosta will take ball 2.
I don't think I need to tell them this, but Silver Spring Tacoma T-Bolts know what happens with this Big Train team. They can come back from any lead that they find themselves facing. Got to just keep adding on here.
There's a strike into Acosta. Tyrese Johnson has fallen behind the first 2 hitters he's faced 2-0, but then gotten the strike in there when he needs to. And, of course, you can never say it enough. No lead is safe in the Ripken League, as that throw could have been worst case scenario from Tyrese Johnson on a back pick. Big East back in safely at second. The 2-1. In there for strike 2. So big pitch coming up. Be nice for Acosta to come through in this spot. Rising sophomore out of North Florida. Of course, on our topic of basketball in this game today, he will swing and miss, strike 3. He is very excited. That's foul tipped. Pardon me. You got a piece of it.
I think he might have pieced it off of his own self, so he's going to take some time to regroup here.
But as I was saying, on the topic of basketball, talked a little bit about it in this broadcast, but Acosta's Miami Heat acquired Giannis Antetokounmpo right before the draft. So he is very excited about that as a big-time Heat fan out of Miami. The 2-2 again. That one is swung on and missed for strike 3. He'll now turn it over to Mason Kelleher to come through in the spot.
I feel like you'd probably need 2 more runs to feel more comfortable. You could get 1, that would be great, but I think 2 is really the number. Because if you get a 3-run lead, you really have a lot of stuff that needs to happen for them to achieve that lead and tie things up.
First pitch to Keller is in there for a strike. Tyrese Johnson seems to have the breaking pitches and off-speed stuff working more than his fastball here in this one, because he started Kelleher off with the off-speed. The 0-1 with Pegues on second and Fricky on first is way high and in for a ball. So sticks on the board, 1-1 count and 1 out. Runners on first and second. That one will just miss for ball 2. Johnson out of UT Martin will fire ball 3 in the dirt. Taking all the way was Keller, and that goes to the backstop for ball 4. Pegues gives a look when rounding third to potentially score, and now the T-Bolts have the bases loaded once again, and they only have 1 out.
The left fielder, Joey King.
So as good of a spot as any for the T-Bolts to add some insurance. And potentially put this game away. Tyrese Johnson's going to have to work around the same jam Kaler did, except now Johnson has a ground ball on the table to potentially end the inning. That swung on and missed by Joey King. Squirts away from Jack Gagan behind the plate. Be huge for King to break through in this spot. He's 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts.
I think if he could have that one back, he probably wouldn't have swung, not just because it was down low, but because he just walked Kelleher on 4 straight balls.
Next pitch is strike 2. That'll be line foul. So upon further review, I was wondering, what division does St. Olaf's compete in? That is where Joey King goes. It is a D3 school, the MICA, as King taps it foul. King, of course, also put on a glove show only last week with his home run robbery, I'm going to call it. And, of course, I don't think we're going to see a play better this season. The 0-2 from Johnson. Upstairs, ball 1.
That's a great take. He took that same pitch earlier in that bat for a strike, but that was a slider. And seeing that fastball at the zone, I think your instinct is that it's going to dive back down and you're going to swing under it, but he holds up.
The 1-2. He will go round. So Joey King is put away on strikes on a borderline check swing. And just like that, it's out number 2. And let's see if Marco Paluzzi can come through in his T-Bolts debut, another T-Bolt debutant. Paluzzi, a teammate of Brady Grimes and Caleb Sturdivant's on this team back in the spring as he swings and misses for strike 1. So Kaler now responsible for 1 earned run, but 2 runs overall. So that next pitch is in the dirt, 1-1. Seems like they're going to take a minute here. Not quite sure. They're going to bring some water to Gagan behind the plate, as he will take the quick breather.
Hopefully everything's okay there. I mean, I don't know if the Ripken League is that nice that they're going to just allow for water breaks in between pitches, so probably something else going on. Maybe he got some dust in his mouth or something. Hopefully he's okay, or hopefully it's not the heat getting to him.
It has been a long day of baseball out here in the Ripken Leagues. That is fired in for strike 2. Paluzzi hit, or Paluzzi, pardon, I was saying Paluzzi. He hit .227 this past season in 26 games with Millersville. We'll wait on a 1-2, and he swings and misses. So Tyrese Johnson limits the damage here for the T-Bolts. A really nice job done by him out of the bullpen overall, but of course the T-Bolts take the lead. They'll head to the top of the 6th with 6 outs to get in this game in order to avoid getting swept here in a doubleheader, quote-unquote. We'll bring you that here on the Thunderbolts Baseball YouTube channel. But, of course, a word from our sponsors is up next.
Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, helps people turn their dreams into their new forever home. Whether it's a renovation, addition, or a new home, Ben will assist you in picking colors and finishes. He'll explain building codes, zoning requirements, and materials that stress energy efficiency. Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Ave in Tacoma Park, Maryland, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. The AFI Silver Theater and Cultural Center in downtown Silver Spring presents the best in American and world cinema. They show classic American mysteries from the black and white era, as well as the most modern digital content from around the world. The AFI Silver Theater also features filmmaker interviews, panel discussions, musical performances, and more. The AFI Silver Theater at 8633 Colesville Road in Silver Spring is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
So Tyrese Johnson able to pick up 3 strikeouts in a bases loaded, nobody out situation. And Peter, I know that the Thunderbolts, they did take the lead here in this game, but you have to wonder, do you think they wanted more runs on the board in that situation?
I think they definitely left some on the table. After Fricky's single that gave them the lead, it was still first and second with nobody out. Maybe in that situation you think about dropping a bunt because you could put sack fly in effect, but you end up with bases loaded, 1 out, and sack fly still works. But credit to Tyrese Johnson, just came out of the bullpen and shut him down. 3 straight strikeouts, and he got things going for the big train. You left some on the table, yeah, but you still have the lead, which I think you got to be grateful for against a team as good as Bethesda.
So Emilio Rodriguez only gets 1 inning of work here in this one. He allows 1 hit, 1 run. It was not earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts in the process. And it's going to be Michael Presky out of Cecil Community College. Of course, host family great in our live stream chat whenever he's pitching in a game. And he'll come in a high leverage spot. First pitch out of the bullpen is down low for ball 1. Another happy-go-lucky guy on this team. Such a positive guy overall. He fires ball 2 in. This is someone that is such a great teammate and such a great guy to be around. Fires in his first strike of the night on that pitch. Ryan Foscolo waits on the pitch. That is whacked out to shallow left field. And Colin Gibbs able to track it back and make the catch for out number 1.
Going 1, 2, 3 would be so huge here. 7, 8, 9 their order too. Foscolo, Corbin, and Jack Gagan. But for Presky, you just got to keep things consistent. No need to build this up to any more than it is. You're just pitching against guys in black jerseys. Nothing more than that. Just go out there, enjoy the baseball, and try to forget about the situation.
Well, I can tell you firsthand that he's a guy that just enjoys life, feels like. So, and you make a great point. You can really attack this bottom half of the lineup, even though some of these guys are dangerous. That's going to be a strike on Corbin. The 1-1 count. Just misses for ball 2. Foscolo in right field today, rocking number 30. I don't know why it's a cool number to me. Couldn't tell you any meaning behind that. It's just looks cool. And the count is 3-1. So 1 out here in the top of the 6th. No man on base for the big train. A 4-3 T-Bolts lead. That's going to be popped foul to load things up. Full count pitch. It's going to be ball 4. The tying run is on for the Bethesda Big Train as the number 9 hitter Jack Gagan now stands in after he had to take a breather behind the plate. Fricke will hold on Corbin at first base. The pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. They're going to try and backpick Corbin, but he dives in safely. Good look from Keller. Him and Schmelzer have done a great job of those types of opportunities this season. Even if they don't get the runner out, the fact that they are still thinking in that mindset is quite important behind the plate. The 1-1. It's going to be hit foul right around the T-Bolts bullpen area for strike 2.
Preskey's got to make sure he's quick to home plate here. Corbin, not necessarily a big speed threat at first base, but can go if needed. There's no reason to really complicate things with a pickoff because we've seen those go badly before. If you're quick to home plate and give your catcher a chance, Mason's a guy that could certainly throw him out.
Jack Gagan thought about it, but he did not swing the bat. His count runs to 2-2. The 2-2 is popped foul. Big Train looking to rally. Here in the top of the 6th, they want to get that lead back. That was stolen from them here in this one. The 2-2 once again. That is going to be hit back to Preskey. Kind of bobbles it on the mound, but he tosses over to first for Connor Fricky. And just like that, it's out number 2. Really smart wherewithal from Preskey there to not throw to second, try and, force a double play. And now that runner's on second with 2 outs.
That is completely fine from Michael Preskey. There was zero reason to overcomplicate things there and try for the double play. I think maybe he was thinking about it when it first got back to him, which is maybe why he kind of tried the transfer before he had it cleanly, but got the out. As far as I'm concerned, that's a complete win for Preskey. They do pinch run at second base. It's going to be Aaron Rittenor. Speedy outfielder comes in place of Corbin, who is regular catcher. So a bit more speed over there at second base now.
Now, and of course, there is no, pressure to fit Rittenor into the, defensive alignment, as Corbin was the DH. So Corbin's day is done. As that first pitch to the leadoff man, Cal Johnson, missed for ball 1.
Smart move by head coach Colangelo. Corbin likely not going to come up again. Rittenor, someone that's probably going to give you the same amount of quality at the plate and a lot more speed.
That's going to go to the backstop. Rittenor able to take third immediately, and just like that, the tying run is 90 feet away.
Yeah, Parker Corbin probably could have done that, to be honest. But now with a runner at third base, doesn't really matter who the runner is. A single is going to score him anyway. But anything else, pop fly, ground out, is going to end the inning. I would say easily the most important at-bat of the game so far.
That will be downstairs for ball 3. So there's no need to overcomplicate a situation like this. Just go straight at the hitter, get the easiest out available, because you have 2 of them. Now the 3-0. In there for strike 1. Preskey in a huge spot. Lands strike 2 on the outside part. So now there are 2 outs with a full count pitch on its way. He went around. Michael Preskey with a huge punch out in that spot. Cal Johnson was halfway down to first on that pitch, thinking that he did not swing, but instead Preskey posts an important 0. And just like that, Stiebel's off the field. Preskey deserved an appearance like that. And they'll head to the bottom of the 6th, looking to pad their 4-3 lead. But of course, a word from our sponsors.
Koa Sports in Gaithersburg, Maryland is committed to shaping kids' lives through sports. Koa Sports aims to develop each child to their full potential as an athlete and as a person. They also help your student athlete in the classroom, on the playing field, and anywhere in between. Learn more about Koa Sports at koasports.com. Koa Sports is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Parkview Capital believes your financial strategy should reflect more than numbers. It should reflect you. As a trusted investment advisory firm, Parkview Capital partners with individuals and families to build and protect wealth. Parkview Capital personalizes strategies rooted in your values and long-term goals. Whether you're growing your portfolio or preserving a legacy, Parkview Capital crafts a clear, customized path to your financial future, one that evolves with you. Parkview Capital, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Tyrese Johnson will stay on. He pitched a really good bottom of the fifth to bail out Tanner Kaler. And now for the T-Bolts, it'll be 7, 8, 9. Camacho, Gibbs, and Kim. Gibbs has been really productive out of that 8 spot. 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. And then he's got 2 runs scored, and then Matthew Kim reached on an error and also came around to scores. That's a first pitch strike from Johnson. There's strike 2 from the big right-hander on the mound. Starting to feel it as Camacho fouls it away.
This is why it was so important to get those runs in the last inning, because Johnson is looking really sharp, and he strikes out Camacho there. I mean, he's at a different level right now. It's just such night and day from Terry Kaler to Tyrese Johnson. Although this is a guy that I'm excited to have at the plate right now. Colin Gibbs is a guy that's been doing well for himself tonight, like you mentioned, and we'll see what he can do against Johnson, who's been really cutting through this T-Bolts order.
First pitch to Colin Gibbs will miss for ball 1. Tough break for Camacho to have to go down on such a borderline swing. But the 1-0 to Gibbs will miss for ball 2.
Back in the third, Gibbs was the first one who got a hit off of Bryce Dolby, the starter for Bethesda, who was looking untouchable. Had recorded 6 straight strikeouts before that single, and now Johnson has struck out 4 of the last 5.
There's the first strike to Colin Gibbs in this at-bat. T-Bolts would love to add on to their lead. Get some extra breathing room as the count evens up 2-2 on Gibbs. So, Peter, what do you think the T-Bolts need to do in this inning in order to, get more insurance runs across the board?
They just got to take it one step at a time. I think you got to trust who you have at the plate. If you're on deck, Matthew Kim, and if you're in the hole, Gabe Pagase, you got to trust the guy in front of you to make a play and make something happen. And if you're at the plate, you can't overcomplicate your approach. Just same old pitching in the Ripken League. You've done this 14, 15, 16 times now. Just got to close the zone and try to make it as close as possible.
Well, there's the 5th strikeout for Tyrese Johnson. Colin Gibbs goes down looking. And the last hope for the T-Bolts here at the plate is going to be Matthew Kim.
No, I mean, hopefully you can just end in the top of the 7th, and that'll be that. And you don't have to face Tyrese Johnson again because, I mean, this guy's gross. I don't know. He's pitched a couple times now against the T-Bolts. This is the best he's looked by far. He gave up that single to Fricky that gave the T-Bolts the lead, but that pitch, if you remember, was kind of just a half swing that Fricky just dunked into the left field. Not a ton of exit velo on that, but since then no one has touched anything from Johnson.
Next pitch, they're going to appeal, is not a swing, so 1-1 count on Matthew Kim. Of course, maybe the only player I've seen in the Ripken League so far that does not rock the batting gloves. Reminds me of former Oriole Austin Hayes, who was just kind of a gritty guy. Maybe didn't put up the best numbers with Baltimore, but still showed up. Kind of a blue-collar, lunch pail type of guy. Matthew Kim certainly gives those vibes in his own right as he falls behind in the count 1-2. He will foul that away. So 1-2, 2 out, nobody on. It is still 4-3 Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Matthew Kim will take strike 3. Tyrese Johnson slams the door. 6 Ks in 2 innings out of the bullpen. And he has put his offense in the best position to tie this ball game here in the top of the 7th. Last inning of regulation, a reminder, because of a doubleheader, quote unquote, will be a just lost my train of thought there. But we'll head into the top of the 7th inning, last inning of regulation. Of course, a doubleheader, quote unquote. You're not gonna. These teams have decided to opt for a 7-inning game. And we're going to see a new arm on the mound. I believe it is Wade Hartrick, and we'll get to him. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Dan Metcalf has long been a supporter of the Thunderbolts. Now he's in a new location, the Finn Family Group of Perennial Real Estate. If you want to find that perfect home in the perfect community, the Finn Family Group is for you. The Finn Family Group believes in community, and they bring that sense of community when working with clients to find homes in the Silver Spring, Tacoma Park area. Call them today at 301-450-6999. The Finn Family Group, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Athletic House on 18952 Bonanza Way in Gaithersburg is a promotional product distributor making mugs, pens, and t-shirts for advertisers. The Athletic House can supply your company with every possible promotional product from 3,000 suppliers. With so many ad specialties available, Athletic House can help leave a lasting impression with your customers, and they will create long-lasting relationships with your clients. Athletic House, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
So into this game will be Wade Hartrick out of the University of Chicago. And I have, in fact, Googled the proper terminology for components of a train. And it's very convenient that the big train bats are coming up. So we got the locomotive, the engine is the front part. And we got what I'm going to call the passenger cars, the middle of the train, where people are going to enjoy themselves. And then we've already labeled the caboose. But on here it says you have the locomotive, the running gear and wheels, and then the passenger cars. But I like calling it the locomotive, passenger cars, and caboose. I think that's, you divvy it up into 3 there.
It's a tough spot for Hartrick here against the engine, if you will, of this big train lineup. By my count, this is the first save situation for a T-Bolts pitcher this season. Up 1 run in the 7th, which is the final inning. Despite this game only being 7 innings, I think this is by far the biggest one of the year if the T-Bolts can pull it out.
1-0 from Hartrick. He's going to be tapped foul by Panay. Originally at UNC Charlotte, now headed to George Mason University, so swapping out D1 schools. This would be a big one for the T-Bolts to notch in their belt. The 1-1. It's going to be hit out to shortstop. Colin Gibbs plays it right on a hop. Logan Panay charging down the baseline, but not in time as the big train run into their first out of the inning. 2 outs to go for Hartrick.
And no big deal. It's just 2 of the best hitters in this league, Daniel Machado and Emilio Gonzalez. But I like Coach Brock Hunter turning the Hartrick here. He's a guy that's had a track record out of this bullpen. This will be his team-leading 7th appearance out of the bullpen. And the man from UChicago has looked really sharp, both on the mound and at the plate this year.
There's a strike into Daniel Machado. And yes, Peter, we did have Michael Presky's host family check into the chat. So shout out to them. I wanted to give them their flowers as Machado hits that one out to right center. Over the ballpark, can't sustain it, and it's going to fall in right center. Daniel Machado is going to hustle his way to third, and he has a one-out triple. The tying run is 90 feet away, and Emilio Gonzalez will stand in.
That's just what happens when new players come into this team, just not familiar with each other. Acosta out in center field has been on this team the whole time, but just new to that position. And then in right field, Marco Polizzi just has not had that much experience with the team this year. This is his first game. I think maybe if it's, I don't know, I don't want to play woulda, coulda, shoulda, but if it's Pegues and I don't know, King out there, I think the ball probably gets caught. But just it's guys that aren't familiar with each other as much and falls in between them. Should have been out number 2, but it is what it is.
You can mix those match and those combinations all day. You know, Pegues or Sturdivant in center, Cam Baker, Griffin Pouvel in right. And obviously you're right. You know, you don't want to play that what-if game. But they did intentionally walk Emilio Gonzalez. So Casey Carpenter now has a bit of a chip on his shoulder. Or, no, pardon, that is, we have a pinch hitter.
Wright.
Brennan Wright.
This shows you how much the Big Train want this game because they put in Brennan Wright, who gets the day off, but Carpenter was really not good tonight. 3 strikeouts over 3, and so they go to Wright. Just they really want to win this game. It shows you how much they want to do that.
So in favor of Casey Carpenter, they go with Brennan Wright. As that pitch misses for ball 1. Brennan Wright is a returning member to the T-Bolts. Or not the T-Bolts, the Big Train. Hit really well last summer, along with many other players that came back to this team, and they're going to punch outright. The bat was a little bit cold off the bench, and just like that, Hartrick puts him away for strike 2. Or out number 2.
I mean, that's cold right there from Hartrick.
Yeah.
Says, pinch hitter or not, I'm going right at you. Just gave up that triple to Machado, but doesn't waste any time thinking about it too much and instead goes right at the hitter, strikes him out on 4 pitches. That's one of the best hitters on this team.
And that's kind of an advantage you can take as a pitcher. Is the first pitch to Will Hack, who does stay in the game, will miss for ball 1. And just Hartrick had that extra boost that Wright had not been in this game. His next pitch misses for ball 2.
That's a close pitch.
Very much so. So runners at the corners for the Big Train with 2 outs. Hartrick looking to close this thing out. That'll be tugged to the glove side for ball 3.
Walk does load the bases. I mean, the only run that matters is the first one. I mean, they all matter, but only the first one can tie this game and keep it alive.
That'll be ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Ryan Foscolo. A big-time spot for the Big Train. And, Peter, we do have a question in our live chat. Why was Michael Presky taken out of the game? Well, I mean, he did have 22 pitches, 11 of which were for strikes. Presky typically isn't a multi-inning reliever in a sense. They normally just have him go 1 inning. But then again, now that I think about it, they have stretched him out to 2 and 3, so maybe contradicting everything I've said so far.
I almost wonder if that was kind of the intentional walk to Hack to get to a guy that's 0 for 3.
Foscolo will take strike 1. And if that pitch tells you anything, it was kind of a pitch around Will Hack, the former Calvert Hall Cardinal. Ends up on first. Emilio Gonzalez on second, and Daniel Machado still on third, and they hit him. And just like that, Bethesda ties this game Foscolo did not seem too happy about it.
Just got away. There's really not much more to it than that. I mean, obviously, it ties the game. There's no reason for Hartrick to throw at a batter on purpose.
No.
But just unfortunate. It was so close, but all of a sudden we're tied, and that's what Bethesda does. It's a slow burn sometimes, and sometimes it's all at once. But either way, they come back, and it seems like they always take the lead.
Well, they don't take the lead on that situation, but they do tie it up. The bases are still loaded, 2 outs. T-Bolts would love to get off the field and try and get that winning run across. And, of course, yeah, you said it best. Wade Hartrick is not trying to hit anyone in that spot, especially not when you're behind in the count. But Foscolo seemed to be fired up about tying the game for his team. First pitch is upstairs, ball 1.
And they won't go with Aaron Rittenor here. He pinch ran for Corbin back in the 6th inning. They didn't expect the spot in the lineup to come up again, so they go for Doc Malvazio instead, a guy with big-time power.
He'll pop it up foul. So it is a tie game here in the top of the 7th. The T-Bolts oh so close to a win. They were right on the doorstep. Now they're going to go to the bottom of the 7th no matter what. And pitch misses, ball 2. So this would be a huge game for the T-Bolts to pull out if they could, and that's going to go to the backstop. Kelleher quickly picks it up. A play the plate. He is safe. Emilio Gonzalez gets in there to score the go-ahead run, and it is 5-4 Bethesda. Big Train on a wild pitch. Of course, all the runners were in motion. So runners on 2nd and 3rd with a 3-1 count on its way. Well, I thought that was 3-1, but now I guess the count moves to said count. But now I guess we're getting 3-2. So payoff pitch. That will be hit right to Sam Camacho over at 3rd. So the count does not matter in that spot. But Hartrick allows 2 to allow the Bethesda Big Train to retake the lead. T-Bolts are going to have to make a comeback here in this one. And Tyrese Johnson going out there for his 3rd inning of work. So the Big Train now flipping the script. They're going to try and close it out themselves. But, of course, a word from our sponsors is next.
The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring specializes in balancing, repair, and installation of your car's tires. The Radial Tire Company has experienced technicians with a commitment to quality service, advanced equipment for balancing and installation, and comprehensive repair options. The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton has been serving Washington musicians since 1958. Chuck Levin's is family run and is famous for instrument sales and its repair facilities for guitars, woodwinds, brass, strings, and electronics. Open Monday to Saturday from 10 to 6. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
So the day is not done for Tyrese Johnson. He is now tasked with completing the game in his 3rd inning. Maybe potentially the T-Bolts have seen him enough in this game to potentially make an adjustment However, with the way he's rolling right now, that might be difficult.
Just a really tough way to give up the lead in the top of the 7th. They scored 2 runs on 0 hits. And now you got to go out and face Tyrese Johnson again. You can't change anything about it. You just got to go do something about it. And it's up to the top of this order to show why they're trusted to bat this high and come through in this tough situation.
It's time to put up or shut up for the T-Bolts. They are 3 outs away from dropping both games against the Bethesda Big Train here today at Blair Baseball Stadium. First pitch from Johnson lands for a strike. 1, 2, 3 in the T-Bolts order. Gabe Pegues, Connor Fricky, and Jonah Acosta. Pegues out of Lynchburg. Take strike 1, and that's going to be in the dirt for a ball. Wait till the next pitch. That is low for ball 2. Do the T-Bolts have the magic in the bats, or is this going to end as a Big Train sweep? That'll miss for ball 3. So Johnson struggling to find the zone against Gabe Pegues, who hit .333 on his collegiate season with Lynchburg. That'll be ball 4. So a great at-bat from Gabe Pegues to lead things off. And we shall see if he's off and running at some point in any shape or form.
Almost wonder if Johnson didn't expect to go back out there. Looks a little bit rusty after that long top of the 7th.
Pickoff attempt no good on Pegues. And it's something I've noted during watching Orioles games. Pitchers kind of have their moment on the mound. It kind of felt like Johnson had that. 2 innings, 6 Ks, as Fricky squares the bunt no good. He's able to pull it off for ball 1. Park Hunter's going to have a word with the home plate umpire, David Esmond. Or no, he's going to go talk to Fricky. So there seems to be a review of the game plan here in this spot. The T-Bolts only down by 1. They can absolutely get back into this game quickly. But of course there is a lot of pressure that comes with that. Now Sal Colangelo seems to be making a pitching change mid-at-bat. Very unusual. Or maybe not. Maybe he's just going out there for a mound meeting. Nah, never mind. He's going to make a swap.
And they're going to go with Malvazio, guy that played in the outfield in game 1 of this doubleheader. Has pitched a fair amount this year. He's got 6 innings under his belt on the season. 3 earned runs all came June 15th against the SoCo Braves, but in his other 2 outings, he went 2 scoreless innings. He's called upon now to close this one out. Big right-hander out of UCF will take over for Johnson, and he had a really nice day, but he now exits, and it's up to Malvazio to finish things out.
So we actually just saw him hit as a pinch hitter here in this game, Aaron Rittenor. So the Big Train are going to lose their DH spot if this game goes any further. But, Peter, what do you make of Colangelo making a call to the pen mid-at-bat? Unless there's some injury that we're missing, you hardly ever see it.
Yeah, I just think desperate times, desperate measures, and I think Bethesda's taking this game really, really seriously. And so I think if they see something that indicates that Johnson isn't the best guy, they're going to make that switch. And Malvasio has been good when called upon. It's not like they're turning to someone that's significantly worse. He's been as good, if not better, than Johnson this season. But he's going to come in. It's not a different arm. It's right-handers for both of them. Johnson and Malvasio both righties, so nothing changes there. But maybe it's just a different look for the hitter. Just try to throw them off a little bit. Also, I mean, could be, I don't know what this would do, but just buying more time here. Can't start a new inning after 10:30. So if this game ends, we'll just tie. If it's a tie after, if it's 10:31. So I don't know what that would have to do with it, but yeah, just it's something to think about. We've seen coaching staff before. There was some controversy when the earlier game got canceled back on June 11th that there were some lengthy mound visits that pushed it to a delay when Silver Spring was up 5 runs, and then of course they come back and Bethesda ends up winning that one. But just something to think about there, and at the end of the day, it's just Malvasio is going to have to bear down here and limit the damage to get out of here with a win.
So the number 2 hitter, Connor Fricky, on his way to the plate, as right in the middle of his at-bat. So maybe there's some timing being thrown off there. Not quite sure. 1-0. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Malvasio establishing his presence on the mound early. Pegues on first. 1-1 on its way. Inside, ball 2. So Fricky, clearly someone that has the mantra for these moments. He had the 2-run single earlier in this game that gave the T-Bolts a 4-3 lead, and now he's up 3-1 in the count. Malvasio trying to find the zone. That will be ball 4. Pegues was thinking about taking an extra base as he was rounding second, but thinks better of it smartly. Connor Fricky will take first. So now runners on first and second for the T-Bolts with nobody out. Now they have a chance to tie this game, and coming in a pinch run for Fricky is Cameron Baker out of Indian River.
For the Thunderbolts, pinch running at first base from Indian River State College, number 42, Cameron Baker.
So Jonah Acosta, maybe the best man for this situation now. I mean, he's been one of the best hitters on the team. Maybe someone that's due. He's 0 for 3 today. Malvasio working in a tough spot. He lays down a bunt. Goes foul. Really good attempt from Acosta. Mason Kelleher waiting on deck. Joey King in the hole to potentially back up Acosta. He squares the bunt again, but able to not commit fully for ball 1. Huge opportunity for the T-Bolts to get a walk-off against a longtime rival. Acosta puts the bunt down. It is good, and it's going to be an infield single. Jonah Acosta kind of puts pressure on the defense there. Of course, the speed getting out of the box and the fact that he's a left-handed hitter does not help. He's closer naturally at first base, and Malvasio just didn't pick it up cleanly. So Mason Kelleher could be the man to tie this game. Now Brock Hunter is going to have a word with Acosta. They'll call it timeout. And they may be looking at an injury concern, which would be terrible. Trainer's gotten a lot of work in here today. And this would be maybe some of the toughest of luck the T-Bolts have had in any situation against the big train. So they are going to pinch run. Or at least a pinch runner is stepping out. And Acosta day is unfortunately done. They are not going to risk any further injury for him. Of course, they need him in that lineup every single day. And into the ball game is Aiden Prell. They'll work out the defensive alignment if needed, if they even get to that point.
I mean, that run doesn't matter either. Winning run is at second base, so Prell is just there to serve as a body.
And he's could be fast in his own right as Malvazio fires in strike one. So the T-Bolts not taking any chances.
I don't know why their middle infield's a double play depth. There's no outs.
That'll be up the middle, a base hit. That will tie this game. Mason Kelleher with a huge hit. Pegues able to score. And just like that, we are anew. But the even better part is that Joey King is going to have a chance to walk this game off. The situation is the exact same. So no matter what, we're going to go to extras. Joey King does go around, though, on the swing for strike one. That pitch is downstairs, ball one. Everyone is in for the big train. That will get down. That will be the winning run. Cameron Baker comes across the plate, and Joey King is your hero tonight. The T-Bolts walk off the Bethesda big train in game 2 of the doubleheader. Joey King is going to get mobbed down at first. He just dumped that single in, and the job it did. Scoring Cameron Baker from third base, and the T-Bolts with a much-deserved win here in this one.
Doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to happen. And T-Bolts got it done, taking this one 6-5. Big swings in the 7th inning. Acosta, Kelleher, and King all with back-to-back-to-back hits. And they get it done. T-Bolts take down the rivals, and Joey King gets the Gatorade bath.
Oh, I'm sure that feels good for Joey King. And they get their first win against the big train of 2026 in a 7-inning matchup. The Thunderbolts come through. This one was tight. We had some great pitching performances on the mound, but ultimately the Thunderbolts prevail by a score of 5-4 here at Montgomery Blair High School. So a great job done there by Joey King, a team hit, if you will. And the T-Bolts have waited for a moment like that this entire season, beating their arch rival, the Bethesda Big Train, here in this one. What a game. Malvazio will get the loss, I believe. And Emilio Rodriguez, in his T-Bolts debut, will get a win. So how nice does that feel? Everyone chipped in. They did their part. And such a sweet victory here tonight. That will be it on our broadcast here today. And thank you so much for tuning in to both games if you did so. And shout out our guy Brian Alves in the chat. Ball game. It is, in fact, the end of it. So a long day here at Blair Baseball Stadium, but worth it in the end. The T-Bolts win 5-4 against the Bethesda Big Train. Big Train had 5 runs on 6 hits and an error. And the T-Bolts had 6 runs on 7 hits. Good vibes only here in Silver Spring, Tacoma. And that'll be it for us. We will sign off of this ball game. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all the views that we get on our broadcast. We do our best. And for Sam Bergstrom, who we heard from earlier today, and Peter Kelly, I'm Patrick Moran signing off.